Woo.
Wow.
Woohoo.
Whoa, it's not
Terry-
working.
It's not working,
There you go.
Gary.
I got it, Gary.
Wait. Thank you.
There you go.
I had to mute.
Some performance issues.
Sorry, what?
This never happens to me.
Don't worry. It's not your fault. It's
Oh,
not
the
your
audience couldn't go up.
fault. It's just the whiskey.
Let's try it again. There we go. That was weird. I'm so embarrassed.
First time for everything.
Yeah.
Welcome to Friday Night Tights, everybody. We have got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today, including poor George R. Martin.
Is he dead?
George. No.
He might as well be.
Yeah.
Change his work output.
He
No.
cares about Ice and Fire, Gary. He cares
He
about it.
cares so much about it. He does. Well, yeah.
Do you care enough to write it?
No.
That's
No.
such like
He cares enough
that's
so much he's
too
not going to
much.
finish it.
It's such like a bullshit. We'll get to it when we get to it, but it's such a bullshit thing. That's like a straw man because nobody's really saying that he doesn't care about it. We're saying that you're doing all of this other stuff instead of that. That doesn't mean that we don't think you care about that story. It's a multitude of things. You can't write it right now. It's so fucked up. You can't write it. You are scared of writing it because you're scared of the reaction from people. There's so many possibilities and what we think are the reasons this isn't written yet beyond just you don't care about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like he cares a lot about it. He cares about his legacy, which is probably why he's never going to finish
I thought
it.
ice and fire is what you put on when you pull a muscle.
Might as well be now.
Shaq told me that's icy hot.
I bathe in it.
Roll it on.
Bathed in it, molded by it.
I didn't know what a muscle pull was. until I
There's
was back.
that. There's the great Hollywood breakup, which I got some very interesting news today from some directors that we'll go over. We'll discuss that. The Harry Potter casting happened this week. I'm sure we have a couple things to say about that. There's also reshoots going on in a Marvel movie, so that's just a day of the week.
And a DC movie.
And a DC movie. Oh, I don't know.
That's also getting reshoots.
Supposedly.
Is that
They're
confirmed?
not reshoots. They're just extra scenes. Which
Well, it's being
It's extra scenes that are replacing other scenes. I get it. Yeah.
1,000%. It was confirmed months ago by James Gunn.
Yeah.
Yes. And
They were doing additional stuff, even though James Gunn never does reshoots.
Yes.
And he's the director of the film.
Right. Yeah.
I think
No,
so.
Is he?
First time I've heard that.
I've heard rumors that he's either the director, the producer, the star,
I thought he was the film.
cinematographer.
Superman
Nancy do?
is the director. James Gunn is the movie.
There you
Yes.
go. There you go.
Thank you.
James Gunn is being released in.
Superman's James Gunn.
wait, yeah.
So
Can't wait.
It's just James Gunn saying, "Can you please make this take more money than Zack Snyder's movie?" Because I'm very insecure about that. Thank you.
what did you guys think about Chris McQuarrie's comments about what his Superman movie was going to be? He went into all the details of it. With the opening line and all that. Or the opening,
had the right tone.
the opening though, we heard about the opening and what the opening was going to be. I've never heard that. Like what he wanted the first 15 minutes to be to set the tone, like up and all of that.
I don't think we've ever heard Chris specifically talk about it before, but a lot of his stuff for like Man of Steel 2.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah, but
been
just
out there
hearing
for forever.
Yeah, but hearing him talk
yeah,
about
it's the first time he got an
specifics,
opportunity really to talk about it and go into any details.
Yeah.
But
And I just think
Henry
the timing
Cavill really wanted to do it.
the timing of those comments, I just think is going to put even more pressure because if this movie it's not a grand slam, all you're going to hear about is Snyder, bring back Henry Cavill.
No.
So no, I agree, but that's all you're going to hear. Shout out to Zach, good friend of mine.
Probably for the people that are already saying that.
Associated.
Look, if this movie makes, I don't know, $650 million at the box office and doesn't do better than Man of Steel, like 100% that stuff's going to be out there.
I mean, it's going to be out there regardless because me can make $2 billion and the Snyder fucking fans are going to be crying for Snyder to come back. We know that, but
I'm talking about normal everyday people.
I know. But what I'm saying though is if this movie does not, like you said, if it doesn't even match Man of Steel's numbers, I mean, the intensity around that discussion is going to be massive. and they're not going to have anything to fall back on.
It's not just going to be Snyder Bros. If it doesn't meet Man of Steel's numbers, everybody's going to be all over that.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody, absolutely everybody.
Compensate for inflation. It needs to.
And
do
we
over
will talk
900
about
million.
that. We will also talk about some Doctor Who, which is getting pretty bad here. But I wanted to start out, Garrett.
Yeah.
I've completely turned around on something I've heavily criticized for years.
You're gay.
Something.
Doctor Who.
No.
You want the female
It's like
doctor?
Russell
Only
Davies
fan.
is the Messiah.
Garrett, if you can see my computer screen right there. I've completely changed my mind. So has Jeremy. So have many other people. Robot Head. We're all for the Ray movie now. We absolutely.
Perhaps we treated her too harshly.
We're all
I
absolutely
understand.
for the Ray movie. I want this to happen. I am sorry. I'm so sorry.
I questioned the title of Rise of Skywalker. I totally get it now.
It makes
I
sense.
understand the term
It
Rise
all
now.
makes sense.
Rise
Rise
inside
of
of
DJ Cobra.
Skywalker.
Please forgive us, Daisy.
Hey, I would like to say for the first time ever on the internet, I love The Last Jedi.
I can't believe she's had this ass this whole time. And this is the
I
first
know
we're seeing
that
it.
Mary Sue has a great ass.
Why didn't she bust these pictures out when people were criticizing her? Why wait till
Dude.
now?
Yes.
I do
Because
think
there's a
that,
tide shift. That's why.
I think this is a little bit older from
It
an
is.
older
This-
shoot. Yeah, this has been
These
around
are a
for
long
years.
fucking
Yeah.
time ago. You guys have been
Yeah.
missing out.
Yeah. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't search for Daisy Ridley's ass. I didn't know it existed, to be honest with you. This is the first time I found
I
out.
didn't know
That's
she
my
had an
fucking
ass.
But
Twitter
this is the problem.
algorithm.
This is the problem with Disney Star Wars. What do we think about when we think about chicks in the original trilogy? We think about Princess Leia's slave outfit. What do we think about with the prequels? We think about what? Padme, in that suit.
What'd you think about Raiders of the Lost Ark with Marion on this? And the wind was blowing just right.
And
for
all
that
we
dress.
think about,
Harrison Ford
and all-
running away with me. Wait,
and all we
what?
think about in the sequel trilogy is Ray!
But now we know why.
Now we
It
know
all
why.
makes sense.
This is called character development right here.
Developing some kind of character. That's for sure.
John Boyega had it figured out the whole time.
No, she's always had a nice ass. Even like in all like the red carpet stuff and interviews,
What, you've
like
seen
during
it
that
before,
era.
Ryan?
What's that?
You've seen it before?
He studied it.
I mean, it's been there her whole life.
He studied it,
yeah, it's
molded
like-
by it.
It didn't just pop up randomly in that one
He was-
shoot and then go
He was
away.
born in it. Oh my God! I
man.
can't wait for Ray. Let's fucking go.
Star Wars is back.
And it turns
Star
out
Wars
that's actually
got that.
AI instead.
Yeah.
And we've
Yeah,
all been
I know.
fucking AI.
I know, dude. Don't react to anything anymore genuinely because you're
I
gonna get
know.
clowned, man.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, when I quote tweeted that, I was like, this is probably photoshopped. but I'm
But who
still
cares?
Going for the
Who
meme.
gives-
I'm still
yep.
going for the meme.
It's gonna have that
For the
tennis
meme.
player over the scratching eyes. It's Daisy Ridley's fucking face on it.
I think that was from like some women's health magazine shoot that she was doing where she was talking about that random fucking disease that she has.
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
Great ass disease.
Ryan, don't ruin everybody's boners by mentioning a secret disease.
It's not like where you're fucking got pus coming out of your pussy or some shit. It's just like some weird blood thing.
Oh,
I
the
don't
old
know.
pus puss.
Who cares?
I beat that years ago.
They make creams for that, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
I still would.
The tweet no longer exists.
No.
The photo's been
Oh.
taken from the internet.
The
Oh.
Chuds found it. That's what
No.
happened. The Chuds found it. Wait,
John
no,
Boyega
wait.
found it.
My Twitter's not even working.
No, it's broken.
I was in Twitter
Ah.
Yeah,
again.
Twitter's
Yeah.
broken.
Twitter's
Broke
broke.
the internet. Come on, and
Welcome to X.
Please
Yeah.
tell me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's broken. Twitter's broken again.
It's been broken.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
it's been
never really worked.
I can pull up Tom Cruise Twitter.
Yeah, my feed just is completely gone. So
Yeah, it just died
Oh,
right here in
no,
front of me.
no.
I can bring up Superman.
How are we supposed to make videos if there's no Twitter?
Bro, that happened.
Yeah.
That happened the
We're
other
gonna
actually
start
morning.
pretty
doing
easy.
research or something.
It's wild how much we rely on that, not necessarily for this, but for just like talking and structuring
Yeah.
something out to
Mhm.
talk about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like having the reports, having the tweets, like whatever.
What's
And-
Yellow Flash done a video on? Okay, I'm doing that now.
Well, and it was down for like hours. And I was like, okay, I'll just pull these articles. And every single fucking article had quotes and tweets that weren't loading in there. They're like, it was. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It wasn't meant to be.
Yep. Sometimes that happened. I guess you want to just start with Superman's James Gunn.
Superman's James Gunn.
Well, people are rolling in. Superman's James Gunn had a test screening. Hang on, let me get to my.
Oh, how'd that do?
Am I not supposed? I'm probably not supposed to talk about it.
Make it, let's go. Oh, you do surprise me.
Less goofy, interesting. Does it have anything to do with crypto, I wonder?
Hmm.
Oh, he's not going to take that out.
No,
His
he's not.
dog.
He's
No,
not.
that's the central linchpin
No.
of the entire story.
Dude, what's the linchpin of Peacemaker? It's a fucking eagle. Like he likes.
Eagle.
Yeah, he needs.
And then Rocket. He likes his
Because of
little
the
animal.
success of Rocket, he needs a little furry animal.
Rumors are he saw
CG.
Daisy Ridley's ass, and he's like, "We need to get that in there."
Yeah.
Reshoots
So-
of this.
Back to the studio.
I'm going home early.
She's gonna
Superman
be
needs some reason to
mercy.
save the world.
Well, if you scroll up a little bit, that face says that's looking at Daisy Ridley's ass right there. That's the face you make.
Oh, so that makes sense because in the trailer he goes, "Oi, eyes up here."
Eyes up here, yeah.
I have a feeling he's using his X-ray vision then. Just
A little bit.
He didn't really need to.
38
What's he
seconds away
doing?
from something.
Where's the X-ray vision going, though? You know? I want to see the fucking inside of a colon. I mean, what?
Oh.
You gotta
That's
learn how
Russell
to
T. Davies.
focus. You gotta focus it in.
Yeah. Think of an island. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what do you think? What do you think they're changing? Do you think they're removing the monkeys?
Film.
Well, I
Oh,
figured
maybe
that.
they
You think?
maybe they floated that out so they could figure out if the monkeys were gonna work or not.
Well, they know when they do test screenings, shit's gonna hit Reddit like immediately. They know.
Right.
They 100% know, and they still do them, and they probably use the feedback. And if they get overwhelming feedback on something, it's probably something you want to consider. I would hope that they're putting truth, justice, and the American way in there somehow.
That would be smart.
Yeah.
I would
They-
hope that
they
was
better.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
They
think.
thought that's what we should put it.
According to the reports of the most recent screen, and the runtime was a big factor because the screening that had been shown, that has been shown for the past couple months, was about 2 hours and 30 minutes long. And then they announced a 2 hours and 2 minute runtime for this. So basically they cut 25 minutes somewhere in there. And one of the things was a lot of the humor wasn't hitting. They thought it was a little bit too goofy. The standard like James Gunn style stuff that wasn't really coming over well in this movie specifically. And that's one of the focuses of some of the stuff they cut.
So, who are the test screen audience? Are these like just all people from California
Where
or
do they
something
get
like
Yes.
that?
Surely. Yeah.
Because I have a
Well,
feeling
so-
that they're not going to be representative of the broader audience.
So there's a difference
Probably not.
between the test screenings, right?
Yes.
Usually, most of them, the vast majority of them are internal. It's just going to be people that are working at Warner Brothers, people that are like stuff like that, people that are on the lot. That's where you get your first bits of feedback. And then you open it up to different test screenings. And of course, they're all supposed to sign something, say they'll never say anything, blah, blah, blah. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
They
and
always
it's and you're right, Ryan. Like the vast majority of Marvel ones are internal. DC does them all the time, and it is basically you sign up for it, and you get tickets, and they invite you on the lot. Chris Gore has explained it a lot, and you get to go, and it sounds like to me, and it's anecdotal because I know a kid who goes to them all the time, that it is kind of the same people going. So I don't know how well that, I don't know how much that helps you. I really don't. I get to Shad's point, like do a test screening in Kansas City, do a test screening in Chicago, kind of hit the regions of America, do a test screening in London, and well, maybe not
Get
London.
stabbed.
And get stabbed.
So, they really like the movie
Yeah.
if they're willing to risk it.
Well, that's if you're lucky. You got to watch out for the rape gangs too. But
Oy.
Well, apparently they're not reshoots. They're just extra scenes.
Okay.
Shots.
It's just
Yeah.
they're replacing other
Wait,
scenes.
Extra scenes in the movie which has lost 30 minutes of runtime. Gotcha.
Just to what Gary was saying, because Goofy is such a subjective thing. What's goofy to one group of people is riotously hilarious to another group, and so I just find it interesting how much they're.
Well, should Superman be either, though? Do you really want a comedy Superman movie, even if it is genuinely funny?
I mean, comedic elements. I think comedic elements definitely. I think you should have some of that, but I don't want it to be a comedy.
I don't think it's
moments of levity are fine as long as you're not making Superman the comedian.
So the issue with that though is
in this specifically, right? When you do have Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, when you have such a massive cast, which is one of the criticisms that people have said about this movie, about there being so many people involved, but whatever, put that aside. When you have so much of that, I do think there's plenty of room for some of the standard humor that we would typically expect from a James Gunn thing with all these different characters involved. But you do have to be careful about how you portray Superman.
Superman.
Don't forget that the creature, the huge creature in the city, looks derpy as fuck. So that could easily be played off for a few lols. I don't know if it's the girl's toy and it's been converted into a whatever, but it looks derpy as fuck if you've seen the McFarlane toy.
So what I mean, that's what a lot of filmmakers. It was great. We had Mark Millar on, and he said it's easy to write Superman. And that's because he understands the character. He's read a lot of the comic books. And he's right, but it's a balance you have to strike. You can't have this dark, grim Superman movie. Like, nobody wants to see that. It's supposed to be aspirational, inspirational. He's a hero. They put out a clip today. I don't know if you want to find it. It's David Cornsweet talking to a bunch of little kids. Like, lead with that shit. That's what you should be doing. That's what Superman is. That's exactly what Superman is. That's what they should have just been doing the whole time.
The messaging from this movie just seems all over the place.
It's all over the place.
And I remember that most recent full trailer that came out. And Ryan, I can't remember exactly how you presented it, but the way that you presented how that trailer should have been structured is the perfect way that trailer should have been structured. And it completely did the reverse of it.
If
you remember how?
If you want to check out my ideas on how the trailer should have been structured, Perry Chan fucking stole my idea and turned it into a fucking video. So
steal your idea.
Put it together. Come on.
Put it together for you. He didn't steal your fucking idea. Were you? Oh, I'm sorry. Were you gonna go out and make a trailer, Ryan? Were you gonna go out and put that together? Were you? No, you fucking weren't. You fucking weren't. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude! Welcome to the internet. Okay, for fuck's sake.
No, but that was basically exactly what I had said.
Yeah, he took inspiration from you and put it together and put together something he wanted to put together, and it was fucking great, by the way. Love you, Perry.
Well, the thing was, it was a great trailer. It was a great trailer, but it wasn't a great trailer for this movie. It would be like taking Thunderbolts and stripping the depression out of it. You stripped the entire theme out of the Superman movie.
That's the point of the trailer.
They would have to make an entirely different movie for that trailer to be accurate. I think if you saw that and then saw this Superman movie, you would feel bait and switch. It's like, this is not what I expect.
If we don't get a leave Perry alone meme with Gary crying, like Perry Chan memes the fuck out of us all day. Ryan says one thing, Gary's like, I'll fucking fight you for Perry.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Let's fucking go. I'll crack this fucking thing right now. Let's go.
Perry Chan
shake you.
Under attack.
Yes.
Oh, no.
You go after me all day long. Don't fuck with my editor, man.
But yes, the overall messaging of this movie is all over the place. I don't still know what they're trying. Like, I don't think they know what story they're trying to tell truly. Yeah. I think they're constantly chasing their own tail based on the constant reaction. But they're the ones sending mixed signals out there. So every time they send a new piece of marketing, you're going to get a different style of reaction. And they seem to be chasing every single style of reaction that they're getting. And I have very big concerns for this movie. And I will say from the start, I have been excited about this. I like James Gunn's movies. I don't like James Gunn. I think he's a piece of shit. He can go to hell, which he probably will. But I like most of his movies that he's been involved in. And so I was looking forward to this, but the more I've seen and the more that we've heard, the less I am at a all-time low for my excitement for this movie at this point in time.
It's the only time I've felt like they have not understood how to market James Gunn. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3, the Suicide Squad, that all seem very clear on what they were trying to convey to the audience. This seems like you just said all over the place. So it gives me the feeling that they don't know internally what the movie is or what the direction of DC is going.
They were all like wacky misfit comedy movies, though. Superman is the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think he can do sincere, which is why if you get reports that they're stripping all the comedy out.
I think he can do sincere. Like he 100% has done sincere in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's pulled some heartstrings, but does he know Superman sincere?
Which is a different, which is different. And maybe that's what I question too, is can he well, to believe in Superman is to fundamentally you love America. Superman's a fucking American superhero. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's objective moral good.
Yes.
Superman appeals to the entire world, not just America.
He does, but he's still American. But that's something
I want Superman to say, "You killed my mom. And you broke my Walkman." That's what I want.
Okay.
Very specific.
That point in that movie pissed me the fuck off so much. It was like it was a fucking powerful moment. And then you had to drop this stupid ass joke.
Yeah, it's like, yep. Well, that's Marvel,
like,
and Marvel really picked Marvel, and that's the kind of guy,
and
that's the kind of guy you need to make Superman.
Yeah, completely agree. Because most leftists, they hate America, they hate this country, they hate everything it stands for, and they should not be writing Superman or superheroes.
So he's a Bud Light
stream
drinker.
Is the stream down?
F's in the chat.
F's in the chat. Yeah,
Someone
that's
said it's
F.
back.
It's
Someone
back.
said it's back.
I'm seeing
It's back. It's back. What the fuck
You
is
get
going
errors.
on?
Everything's fucked.
It's James Gunn. He doesn't like what we're
Everything
talking
is under
about.
attack.
My channel is under attack from James
the
Gunn's James
robots
Gunn.
are coming.
Am I the only one like
under attack.
have you guys ever had the experience where the internet goes down and you wonder, has like a meteorite hit a country?
Yeah.
or
No,
somewhere?
there
Are
are
we
periodic
really-
massive
No,
DDoSes
I
across the
think-
internet which affect the base infrastructure.
Remember the big one that hit Amazon and then it hit everything else? It hit fucking Google.
They all use the same line, so if you hit
Yeah.
the T1 infrastructure, everything goes down.
Yeah,
when we went to this is over a month ago, we went to previews at Epic Universe before it opened, and at that point there was no video, no pictures allowed, anything like that. So everybody that were in the park pretty much had their phones.
I love how
put
Jeremy
away.
worked that into the conversation. Well,
no,
I was
no,
at.
no.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It was
have my
amazing.
access.
It was amazing to walk around where people were not on their phones. Thousands of people not on their phones, and it completely changed the way that we approach the day and everything. And it was crazy. I was like, this is actually so much better than the shit that we're just like people walking around vlogging and shit. And it was wild that many people were not on their phones, and it shows you how controlled we are by all the fucking stuff that we're involved in.
Dude,
right now.
when I went to the Mothership Joe Rogan show and I saw Dave Chappelle, they made us put all our phones away, and then we had to sit next to strangers. So you just had to talk to people. It was great. It was freaking great.
That like?
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
weird.
If you like talking to people, I'm one of those, introverts. I was just like, I'm happy to be in my bubble.
I mean, I'm introverted too, but if somebody starts talking to me, I'll start talking.
I like talking to
You're
people.
American and he's descended from the
there a
English.
crack?
I was like, no,
I'm really
strangers,
good
no.
at defending
Strangers,
fucking like
people?
people and talking to them. But I don't want to.
Yeah.
I think questioning James Gunn's ability to pull off a Superman is, I think that's you're just being normal. I don't think he can do it. And I've watched most of his stuff, if not all of his stuff, and I've liked most of it. Hated Peacemaker. It sucks. Creature Commandos wasn't very good. I liked The Suicide Squad, but it's
very good.
It's like 7 out of 10. Like it's fine. It's fine. It's not super memorable. But giving him the keys to the castle and having him not only just direct the main movies, he's got to run the studio. He's got help, unlike Feige, but he's still running the studio and making all the creative decisions. And as Ryan pointed out this morning, the only success they have had since
Since Joker
COVID,
in 2019.
since Joker, the only success they've had in theaters is The Batman, and the only other success is The Penguin.
And even the Batman wasn't that huge.
Yeah, the Batman
Like,
wasn't
you know,
that big of a deal. Yeah.
And
I
what's
don't
crazy
think the
though,
second one will be
and
good though.
I don't know if I trust this yet. Box Office Theory's early trackings come out, and they have the opening domestic at 154 to 175. Which
Superman?
Superman?
For domestic opening, which if it hits that high end would be bigger than Minecraft's domestic opening. I guess
No
I
way.
don't believe
No way.
that.
I don't
but that's
see
the
it.
early
No
tracking right
fucking way.
now. No.
No shot is that happening.
I hope so, but I just don't see.
Yeah.
I just don't get the buzz right now.
Neither do I.
So
But the trailer
if it
did
opened up
well.
that would be crazy.
Yeah,
The
the
trailer did.
well.
That's something every time I talk about this movie because I'm so negative about it. I always say like, it is being positively received. It is like every trailer has been positively received for the most part in terms of the ways that we go about it. Every time a trailer gets ratioed, we make fun of it, we roast it. So we have to point out
Because it's fun.
Yeah, it's absolutely fun. But all these trailers have a very positive ratio,
Yes.
extremely positive.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Disparu.
Well, things have to be an extra level though, because you can like a movie and think, "I'll watch that on streaming." So you have to. It has to really get you excited to actually make the visit to the cinema.
There's the British point of view. Is it worth leaving my house for?
Well, we do run the risk of constant stabbings on the
Yeah, you have to put your stab-proof vest on.
Dude, according to you guys, we dodge bullets every day we walk out of our house. We're fine with it. Sorry.
If you guys remember, Top Gun Maverick did not seem like it had that big of hype behind it at the time. Now, I think that the tracking for it was probably pretty, but you remember when we talked about it, we're like,
doubled it tracking basically.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was a lot because of word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Absolutely.
Didn't he do that
That
big
was
stunt
a
that was in the
big-
promos?
Well,
That
we,
was
I mean,
Mission
we all
Impossible Dead Reckoning.
yeah,
He
we,
did
Maverick-
but we
Yeah.
talked about the
Maverick-
trailers before it came out. We're like, hey, the
did.
trailers look pretty good. That looks like a
Yes.
pretty good movie.
Yes.
I'm gonna go
and
see
I
it.
remember,
you
and
know?
I remember we did a poll on this show, and it was like 50-50 of people. They're like, because we all felt like he was going to be replaced by a woman.
Yes,
you
yeah.
know, that based on the trailer building up, as iconic. But it's time for you to, step aside. And we all were like waiting for the diversity bullshit. And word of mouth carried that movie to, what was it, 1.3, 1.5
1.4 billion.
Yeah,
But
so-
also, it did have an opening of 126 million, which is twice as much as what Mission Impossible just had. So it did have a strong
absolutely
opening,
did,
but
yeah.
it definitely performed very well down the line.
Yep,
the thing
absolutely.
that helped it out was that it's a particularly brilliant film.
It really is.
The fact that it was that good, word of mouth.
Okay, is it
really-
better? Is it better? Is it better than the original?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Easy.
In some ways,
Yeah.
Yes. It is.
It is almost a 10 out of 10 film for me. If not, that's definitely 9 out of 10. It was so
The
damn
trench
good.
run at the end,
Fantastic.
awesome.
Like everything. The fact
It's a Star Wars movie.
It is,
Sacrifice,
yeah. It is, and I love that.
and the way that he, sacrificed himself to save his surrogate son and stuff like that, the masculinity and the virtue in
great.
it, it's just brilliant. It's a brilliant film.
Damn good film.
Will will Superman have that?
That's the question.
But that's what it
needs
has
to
to
have
have,
it.
though. That's what it
has
needs
to have that.
I hope Crypto sacrifices himself for Superman. We see Crypto die on screen.
I do too. If Crypto dies,
No.
I'm there. 100%.
No, you know what? I think they're taking.
They know that would be the worst possible.
So there,
thing to do.
there supposedly is a scene where Lex like viciously beats Crypto, and I'm wondering if they're gonna cut that out because a lot, dude.
People don't like that,
look
man.
at how many fucking people complained. Maybe some people on this panel even. About the treatment of the CGI animals in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The fake fucking CGI animals. People were really upset about the torturing of fake CGI animals. You think they're going to like dogging the shit kicked out of it?
To be fair, we all just kind of went crazy over a fake CGI ass, but
that's
the
different.
real ass, isn't it?
It's still real to me, damn it.
I think you could get away with it if Crypto then did the same back to Lex. Like, I think you can do it as long as you balance it out on the other end. Because it's always been the same thing in movies. The worse the villain is, the more horrifically he has to die. As long as you balance the scales out, people will let you off.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole, to show a villain, have him kick a puppy kind of thing.
I mean, people love John Wick.
And then have the
But
dog.
you don't see the dog.
see it,
You don't
though.
see the dog dying.
That's true.
I mean, it's bad.
You hear it, so.
But
that's
you
still
hear
pretty
it.
bad.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, the never-ending story traumatized the generation.
Yes. Yeah.
oh, dude, like
Totally.
that scene
John
in
Wick.
That scene in Equilibrium. I don't know how many of you have seen Equilibrium.
I
have you
wasn't
seen?
paying any attention.
I know.
movie.
Equilibrium.
Equilibrium.
Fun movie.
Oh,
Equilibrium is
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so good. And there's
Love
that
it.
scene where the dogs, you don't see it, but
Oh,
you see
yeah.
Christian Bale's reaction to it.
Oh.
Traumatizes. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
maybe
there's
that's some of the
Kingsman.
shots he's talking
Kingsman too. You got to kill your dog. You know.
Yeah.
Watership Down.
Oh,
Oh, too soon.
no, too soon.
No.
Don't even go. No, we're not bringing that up again.
But animated is completely is awful.
Bro, we watched that in school. It was
I watched it on VHS.
we watched it in school and it was like the whole classroom was like
You know,
This is what we don't get triggered by microaggressions.
exactly. It's that type of media kids need to harden them up.
At least in the
Taking that
classroom,
away,
you get
and
some
now they're all
context.
just a bunch of pussies.
I saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest when I was
Like-
6.
Oh no.
that explains a lot.
I try to stay away from sad dog movies, man. I
Yeah,
can't
dude.
handle them. I can't handle them.
Fox and the Hound.
Man,
Can't
Oh,
handle
Fox is a
Hound.
I can't
What's
wait
that
till
one?
Disney
There's
does
that-
that one live action.
Homeward
There's that one
Bound is
that
awesome.
Marvels.
Homeward Bound is awesome.
Homeward Bound is awesome.
There's that one everybody wants me to watch that I won't. The Marley and Me.
Oh, don't
fuck
watch it.
No, don't do that.
Well, because
Don't
that
do
was before internet stuff for me. So like, I went in thinking, oh, it's gonna be a movie about a fun-loving dog, and then all of a sudden they drop this end where it's like, what?
It is really
It
good,
had
though.
AIDS.
It is really good.
I think the Labyrinth gave me nightmares when I was a kid.
Oh,
That is a
that's so
freaky
creepy.
puppet movie with like these freaky puppets. and just
No,
like,
it's great on acid.
You remind me of the bear.
That was your mistake,
You don't watch
Chad.
Return to Oz.
Should have dropped some acid, man. It's way better. It's way better.
Are we gonna go through what that article said
Yes.
about the changes? Yeah.
Yes,
Because it's
This
not
is Ryan
just
telling
that
us
they're
to
cutting
shut the fuck
25
That's
up.
Ryan is reeling us back in. That's a professional,
Yes.
ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
Ryan.
Not that one. Not the
Not
one
this
from
one,
the other
5
one.
months ago. This one.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you get really excited, right?
Yeah.
Loves this cosmic book news.
Because all we did was speculate about what we think this headline might mean.
Let's actually
Welcome
what
to Friday
actually
Night
read the article. What are you talking about?
No.
Let's yeah.
Is it on Twitter?
Ryan,
No,
you
then.
should totally read it.
All right, it's a very thin line because I want the article to be read enough, but I don't want you to read all of it. So I have a very thin line of where I'm happy. But let's go down. Scroll down. It's again claimed as a result of test screenings, James Gunn's Superman has undergone a course correction to make it less goofy. Concerns about the film first surfaced back in December when Jeff Snyder, THR, and others hinted early trouble behind the scenes. You can skip the next paragraph. I'll add to that, it's been claimed Gunn has put in jokes meant as political jabs in Superman. It includes a bit about Lex Mutant Monkey Troll Army, the plot about fake news, as well as putting in jokes making fun of the Snyder Cut. A new World of Real report claims a recent test screening led to major changes, including cutting down on humor and reworking scenes. The site claims Gunn, DCU co-head and producer Peter Safran, and David Zaslav have been scrutinizing every frame of Superman to avoid another franchise misfire.
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's what they should be doing.
They should be doing it, but they're probably still going to misfire.
because like we have had what 10 DC movies since Joker 2019. One of them has been financially successful. The others have lost them hundreds of millions of dollars.
A company that's massively in debt that just
Yes.
had their credit put into junk status.
Right, and they thought their response to that would put a guy who's known for quirky characters and quirky movies in charge of the most fucking standard, heroic, black and white kind of
Now bringing in
Yeah.
James Gunn to run DC, if you look at like who's out there to run it, it makes sense. You had the one guy who had something that worked at Marvel, so business.
All right, well, the dog doesn't agree.
I don't give a fuck what your dog thinks.
He's using his.
Somebody
Give it a
call
sni-
Lex.
He's just mad because he ran out of peanut butter.
No, I think like business wise, it's like for one, this is Marvel and DC Comics too. They poach each other's talent all the fucking time. And they took away the last director at Marvel. Now they just fucking hire TV directors. So it makes sense. Like putting him in charge of Superman, though, I question. Like I always wanted like Brad Bird to direct a Superman movie. I think that guy would be
dude.
fucking perfect for it.
Yep.
I think he would be perfect for it. He did a great Mission Impossible movie. He did The Incredibles. Yeah. Okay, we won't talk about Incredibles 2 because it fucking sucked. But
Incredibles 1 though.
Incredibles 1 though, one of the greatest movies.
The Heart.
One of the greatest superhero movies ever made.
Fantastic Four movie.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, Ryan. Go on. If you were going to continue.
Oh, that's good. With the film under heavy scrutiny, World of Real says they removed about 25 minutes of the assumed goofier footage, shuffled around key sequences, and added minor scenes during the reshoots. Also, an editor was removed, a different editor brought in, which led to a rework of the film's structure, and a new composer was brought in late to help with the music score.
Oh. Right after Perry Chan's trailer that he stole from Ryan.
Exactly. Is there any truth to that as well? It said above that the original Flash cut was better than what ended up in the movie.
I would like to see that, but I don't believe it.
First of all, that is completely like a subjective thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Based on who's telling you that.
Maybe that's the version James Gunn saw, and he said it was.
That must be the version Chris Gore saw when he told us it was. Not too bad.
Oh, that yeah.
Shout out Chris Gore.
25 minutes.
Shout out Chris Gore.
Like they're saying 25 minutes of goofier footage. It's like
that's a lot.
That's a quarter of the movie. That's a hell of a lot. Shout out to Chris Gore.
They got rid of 48 minutes of the Marvels.
Oh my God, I almost kind of want to see that.
I always want to see the extra shit they left on the floor.
I want to see the DaCosta cut of Marvels. Release the DaCosta cut.
Rolls off the tongue.
I just also want to say to Chris Gore, we love you, man, and he is the starter of all rumors. So if you want to know the source of all rumors everywhere, it's Chris Gore.
Blame him.
Blame Chris Gore. Yes. Blame Chris Gore. So yeah, it changed some of the music was not good. The music is it sounds like it's generated on a computer. And I think, just like with Star Wars,
Gary, most music is now.
It is.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But it sounds inauthentic and average and fucking generic. It sounds like CW soundtrack.
Is this the musical James Gunn?
Sure, but that's my complaint about the Mandalorian. I fucking hate the Mandalorian music. I think it's freaking lame. John Williams' music is much of a character in Star Wars as anything, and you try to emulate it.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, music is emotional shorthand.
Just use the Williams theme.
Yes.
What the fuck? Like, why? I know it didn't work for fucking whoever the fucking pedo that directed the Superman Returns. What's his fucking name?
Singer.
Brian Singer.
Yeah, we know it didn't work for that, but the point is that it can't. There's no negative to keeping this music. This is, in my opinion, John Williams' Superman theme is his greatest score ever.
That's fine, but you can have that theme in there, but you still need another fucking 2 hours of musical score for the movie based on whatever setting and situation you're in that is matching up to whatever movie you're doing.
Hey, we're in the AI generation. Why not just put all of his music in there and just have AI generate a similar sounding score? It's probably the direction they're going to go in. It's probably the direction they're going to go in.
That's what we got in the trailer.
Yeah.
That's what the trailer gave us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the trailer gave us. So we'll see. We'll see how much they actually change. It comes. I mean, this is going to be like the most dissected superhero movie of the year in recent memory for all the reasons we've already gone over. From his first move, getting rid of Henry Cavill, probably could have been done a lot better. And there was some stuff that wasn't in his control, including The Rock coming in and saying, "Yeah, we're starting a whole new DCU with Henry Cavill," and bringing him in at the end of Black Adam, and they go, "No." Actually, no, which was fucking terrible, and that's Warner Brothers' fault.
What they were told, yeah,
and that's Warner Brothers
said to Cavill, "We'll go," and then they passed it to James Gunn, and I think they did that on purpose. I think they really wanted to throw him under the bus.
I mean, do you think that if Black Adam would have actually been a success, then that would have changed things? They would have forced that into. So it's really what it comes down to is it failed. The movie failed. And so they decided to just cut ties with everything and let Gunn do whatever he wanted. That's what I feel happened anyway.
Yeah, it's a very good possibility that's what happened.
That is Warner Brothers, the overreactionary shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is why they should be scrutinizing every frame of this. It's that important. It is important for Warner Brothers and their future. It's important for DC and its future. It can't be overstated
Damn.
how important this movie is
No pressure.
to everything they have going on. But they are hyper reactionary with everything. It's just what they do.
In defense of like or what you were saying about like the scores of you know, the rest of the film, but like I do think Hans Zimmer's score in Man of Steel is fucking phenomenal. Now, does it work for this style of Superman? I mean, hell, it looks like they were trying to go full Zack Snyder Superman anyway in the early marketing of the film, and now they've kind of shifted it to more of a hopeful kind of view of it. But you know,
I think Man of Steel's got one of the best movie scores.
I do too.
Modern age.
Yep. Really I do too. Yeah. I do too. It's fucking fantastic. It
Terraforming
really
is great. Track
Yep. Yeah.
I love listening to it.
I love listening to it. Hans Zimmer's a genius, and not many people can like. What they do is everybody's emulating Hans Zimmer for the most part. There are a couple. Yeah. What's the guy who did the Batman? Michael Giacchino.
It wasn't Giacchino, was it?
Yeah, he did The Incredibles.
Did he do the Batman?
Yeah, he did the Batman. Okay. He's done The Incredibles, so he's pretty fucking good. But most people are just trying to copy Hans Zimmer, and they can't fucking do it. There's only one.
Have they announced who the composer is for the Superman?
Yeah, it's Michael Giacchino. It's
really
yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't sound like him at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's worked on a lot of. Like, that guy's got a ton of great. He's got a lot of great scores.
So I'm pretty sure it was him. I could have sworn it was him.
But I haven't heard that he's the one scoring Superman. James Gunn might be scoring.
I think it's James Gunn. Sorry, my bad.
He's the clout. I have to do it myself.
James Gunn ain't no John Carpenter, all right? He ain't no John Carpenter.
Apparently, it's a really well-known meme, but I only recently found it out that the Mission Impossible theme tune is just MI in Morse code repeated. The dun 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 is just Morse code.
Oh, that's
of
sick.
MI.
That's so awesome.
I just like to come up with that nice idea, and then it turns out to be an incredible soundtrack. Is impressive.
That's from the original TV show. They had that tune in the TV show. So
it's the same with Inspector Morse.
So composer is John Murphy and David Fleming.
Oh, from Superman.
Yeah. So John Murphy was the first person announced for it. So he's been on it for basically since the beginning of the project. I don't know who a different composer that they're bringing in is.
So John Murphy did let's see, Sunshine, 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, Guardians of the Galaxy, all this stuff. So he's been working with James for a while.
Sunshine was good.
So Giacchino's not working on it.
Not working on it.
Okay.
Okay. I was wrong.
That guy's really good though. I mean, he would be a good guy he would get the right personality of that theme based on all of his other
the Batman
previous
soundtrack
works,
is great.
Oh my god,
so
that's so good. It's so damn good.
I have it on vinyl, on red vinyl.
It's really good.
Vinyl.
Do we want to see Christopher McQuarrie's?
Yeah.
McQuarrie?
I mean,
McQuarrie?
McQuarrie.
He's McHugh. They call him McHugh.
What would his take be?
Christopher Queerboy's got it.
They only beat Tom Cruise that calls him that, and like no one had ever called him that before. And then Tom Cruise called him that, and that's what he has to be known by for the rest of his life.
Yep.
Well,
those are the rules.
So he's saying Superman sequel to which Superman?
To Man of Steel.
This was supposed to be Man of Steel 2.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Stakes, and also how do you do it with Superman? And Henry had a take on that, and I suddenly realized how these two characters had amazing similarities, which also allowed for amazing conflict and an amazing universe-expanding resolution.
Now I'm just getting upset.
Yeah, but I will tell you, the first 5 minutes of my Superman movie, which was imagine you remember Pixar's Up?
Sure.
A sequence with no dialogue that covered that character's.
Yeah.
Okay. The first 5 minutes of the movie was a setup after which you knew exactly what made Superman tick, and exactly what Superman was most afraid of, and and why Superman made the choices that he made. And it would have been epic. It would have been epic. In 5 minutes, the scale of the movie would have been absolutely extraordinary. And the other thing, and I hope that anybody who watches this movie, that enjoys the end of this movie walking away, that's the feeling I would want you to walk away from. Because
he's talking about Mission Impossible.
He's talking
that
about.
Sounds like it would have been awesome.
Well, he didn't really say anything.
No,
but
like,
it'll do this, and it'll do this, and this is the feeling you'll have. But no one could say that without actually having an idea of how to make it.
Yeah, I'd have to see it play out, but I get what he was doing. He wanted to establish what the character was, so we don't have to wonder, by the way, and by showing you stuff instead of telling, without exposition.
Yes.
Which is what he didn't do in Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
So this and Henry Cavill's talked about this a lot over the years as well, like this movie that he wanted to make after kind of like this dark arc of Batman v Superman and him coming back to life in Justice League and all of that stuff. They wanted to turn to that hopeful side of Superman, the one that everybody wants to see. And that's Christopher McQuarrie and him had talked about it a lot and the plans that they had for Man of Steel 2, which obviously never happened.
Do the people in Hollywood go to like a seminar or a training course on how to sit like this? Because I can't do that.
I think it's called having your balls cut off.
Where are the balls?
Yeah.
There's actually a hole. There's a hole in the bottom of the couch.
There has to be, because man, those things are there's no circulation getting to those at all.
I don't want to take up space.
I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that the timing of that was pretty interesting. And again, if the Superman movie we get soon is awesome and it blows everybody away, then those comments will mean absolutely nothing. Yep. But if this movie is not up to par, those comments are going to be brought back up, and the momentum for Henry Cavill Superman will be at an all-time high.
I still think it's going to do better than the Marvel movie.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four?
Yep.
Think so?
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to say either of them. I have no fucking idea. I think more normies will go try Superman before Fantastic Four. Yeah. That would be my guess.
Superman's a bigger brand name than Fantastic Four for your average person.
Yeah. So
I mean, yes and no. I mean, like, again, what do we have to show us that Superman? Like, we know Superman's the most iconic
doesn't have a
superhero,
female Silver Surfer, so there's that.
That's true. But what I'm saying is, like, historically, like, Man of Steel did 650 million. Should have done a lot more. Superman Returns, we all expected that to be just an absolute, and I know that was a different time, but even still, when that movie came out, there was a ton of hype around Superman Returns. Fucking massive amount of hype. I remember Bryan Singer and what's his name, Brandon Routh, were on Larry King Live having an interview with Larry King Live the week before the opening weekend, and Larry King's like, you understand your life is about to change. Talking to Brandon Routh, he's like, you are going to be an internationally known.
You are going to be in Scott Pilgrim and then completely forgotten.
You know, yeah. and so like the hype was crazy, and it came and went, and it had a cool airplane scene. And
dude, the Comic-Con panel was off the. You thought it was like, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. DC's off. We got Nolan and Singer, and David Goyer was there, like building them both up, and they were, like Nolan was never going to like cross over with Superman, but that was going to launch a DC thing, and it just fizzled out like immediately. And
then Brandon Routh would go on to be better known as Ray Palmer in the Arrowverse.
God,
that's right,
man.
Jesus.
Where he complains that when he died, because he went small, nobody remembered him while he was stood next to a sign of the city they named after him.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
Well, when I died, nobody remembered me. They named the fucking city after you! Fucking dipshit!
And then when they do the big crossover, when they do the big crisis in Arrowverse or whatever they fucking did, and Ray Palmer meets Supergirl, and he's like, "Hey, you kind of look like my cousin."
Yeah.
And so my put him back in the Superman costume. He was Kingdom Come.
That was awesome, actually.
Superman.
So my point
I
being
like
is
the
this,
crossovers for the CW series. They were
like
always the
that
best
one.
ones.
God, they want to keep talking about CW, Jeremy.
How about not?
I know you're trying to make him stop. But for
What
fuck's
about
sake.
when Batwoman killed Kevin Conroy Batman?
Oh.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
The CW is under attack.
It should be.
but yeah, I mean, ultimately, Superman is obviously the most iconic superhero of all time. We know that, but in terms of just box office results, draw like that, we don't really have that there. Batman and Superman in the movie for a first time ever didn't even break a fucking billion at the height of comic book movies.
Yeah, it really should have.
And that's more about Zack Snyder's shitty directing, shitty storytelling. Sup, Zack? Sorry about Rebel Moon Part 6 or whatever the fuck got canceled. Sorry about that. Be pretty cool if you had a 400,000 sub channel to have your back. But anyway, that's beside the point.
That would have changed everything.
Yeah.
You don't know, Ryan. There's no bounds.
You don't know.
I can break you.
But I lost my fucking point now.
Not a single rebuttal.
The hype behind Superman is where you're going with that.
But regardless of that, the Fantastic Four in the MCU, which the MCU has been severely damaged, but from a normie standpoint, I still think that there's more upside based on what we've seen right now to the Fantastic Four because of the Disney marketing machine than Superman as it currently stands. I think there's slightly more upside to the Fantastic Four from a normie perspective.
I don't.
So
No,
that's
if you
where
walk
I'm
down
at.
the street and asked your average person the characters in Fantastic Four versus the Superman, they would know more about Superman.
Absolutely.
Look at what Captain America did. And that's like a well-known entity. And that thing
They didn't have Captain America in it.
Oh shit! It's Tron.
Disparu has had the best. I saw. Sorry, I'm going to take it from you, Disparu, but I'm going to attribute it to you. Only Marvel can make a naked woman ugly.
Hold on.
It's the least erotic thing I've seen.
We were talking about Ray earlier. Look at his flat ass. What is going on?
Wow, that is
It's got little flakes coming out of her vag too.
Yeah, it's a weapon.
The only thing you could say about this is obviously an artistic rendition. This is not like a screenshot or like this is not
to call this art.
Correct.
Yeah.
They could have drew with a little.
Well, we could just go to the pictures of the actual trailer, which look just as bad.
Really bad.
Oh my God,
That's
rough,
terrible.
dude.
That's terrible.
What a dumb move. What a fucking dumb move. What a stupid fucking move.
That's not like Marvel.
I know. I like all you had. Nobody would have said there's too many dudes in this. The only people who say that are the fucking bitches who work within Marvel. That's the only people fucking saying it. If you brought out Nornrad Silver Surfer, you would make more money. You would have a chance to make more money. It's a terrible business decision. And the fucking Wiki Warriors, if you keep throwing up the wrong picture of Shala Ball, they keep doing that. Like, there's another female Silver Surfer, by the way, and they keep showing the wrong fucking picture. You fucking retards. Yeah, it's fucking
because
hilarious.
there's barely any pictures of Shalabal.
Yeah, she's
in like 5 comic panels.
Yeah. Alex Ross, by the way. Alex Ross. Earth X.
To Jeremy's point, I kind of get what you're saying there because, like, the MCU technically has a larger potential audience based on what it's been able to bring in versus what DC has brought in, and it kind of balances out where Superman is a stronger, well-known character. Yet, if Marvel actually nails a really good film in the MCU, their potential
Impossible.
audience
Yeah, I was gonna say, when's the last time they've done
That's
that?
the key.
Guys, they did it with the Thunderbolts. That was their reset. That's what they said. The Thunderbolts was going to reset everything. It's Marvel's back, baby, with the Thunderbolts.
All I'm saying is, when's the last time DC had a fucking hit? They have the most iconic characters, and they can't do shit.
You're right.
Right, okay, but you got
companies
Marvel,
are dumb,
which are
that's why.
currently Suicide Squadding themselves or Thunderbolting themselves in every single film. Every film they put out, less and less interest there is. This film was apparently a critical success, and people were like, oh my goodness me, this is actually a good one. It was fucking dog shit, and it's absolutely bombed at the cinema. with a much lower budget, it's still managed to lose around about $100 million.
It looks like the Jetsons.
Superman,
supposed to. That's
at least
fine.
with Superman, you've got the recognizable brand. You've got a brand new universe coming in. You've got James Gunn for whatever reason. People do like a bit of James Gunn. Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a little bit of a rep there. So, if you're putting these two next to each other,
but the Fantastic Four is a recognizable brand too. But the Fantastic Four,
I don't think it is.
Compared to Thunderbolts, it is.
It's not.
Compared to Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four is definitely a recognizable brand.
Ironheart's coming next month. Who the fuck is that beat?
That's my point, though. The Fantastic Four is a recognizable brand from a normie standpoint. It's not Spider-Man or fucking X-Men, but it's not the Thunderbolts.
If you said, who's Superman? People go, Clark Kent. If you said, who are the Fantastic Four? I bet you not many people would actually get the names of the.
I mean, I get that. I get that. If you would have asked them, who is the Flash, they would have said who the Flash is. Nobody fucking watched the goddamn movie.
This image is perfect. Front and center.
Yep. And on the left.
All day, every day.
100%. Like, and by the way, fuck Pedro Pascal. He's the worst human being on the planet, by the way. This dude I'm telling you, man, the fact that we see this guy like licking like fucking gay dildos, yet in the other clip, he was supposedly, because he has anxiety, he's got to have a woman grab his fucking dick or whatever it is on stage to make him male feminist.
I think that's for the premiere.
Dude,
yes.
I fucking hate this guy, man. I
actually
hate him.
like kind of buy, like I buy more easily that Pedro Pascal has some weird thing where he wants someone to hold his hand, because the other thing would be he's faking that to hold a woman's hand, and I'm pretty sure Pedro Pascal faked it in the ass. So that makes no sense.
This picture looks like 4 people ready to hit the local gay bar.
A large part of their marketing seems to be aimed at women that think Pedro Pascal is daddy. And it's like they're completely aiming an audience that kind of like you're a bit deluded at the best of times.
He's not cute.
I actually like I understand what Jeremy's saying when he's talking about the idea of the bigger potential and maybe even the lower.
And from a normie standpoint as well. I'm
like
throwing normies in there.
Ceiling and a lower floor for a Marvel movie, because when we talk about some of these things that DC has had over the past several years, you look at their box office bombs, and their box office bombs, a lot of them are in Marvel's territory, period.
Bro, fucking Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts made twice as much money as fucking Flash that had Batman in the fucking marketing. And Thunderbolts made twice as much money.
I don't know about twice, because that made what, it had 67, 270.
Okay, 200 million. But we cannot discount 2 Ezra Millers. You just can't.
Yeah.
No, you can't discount that.
But Michael Keaton,
he was strangling his way across America, kidnapping little Indian girls, and
800 million.
But like, I feel like Blue Beetle is a character that's similar in recognition level to the Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah, that's
like those are pretty similar. Vastly different box office results for those things. So I do think actually Marvel still has a lower floor than a bad DC movie.
I guarantee you the character we'll be talking about when we see this film is fucking Galactus, and none of these fucking people here.
Yeah, probably true. I look, I'm not going to be surprised if both Fantastic Four and Superman end up around $650 million.
I could see that.
Yep.
I could see that.
Yep. I mean, we could be wrong, but Superman's more recognizable, and the Thunderbolts underperforming. The strength of Marvel's brand is unquestionable up to Endgame, right? But the word has gotten out. So Jurassic Park beats them both.
Yeah.
Shockingly,
as shitty as that looks. Yep.
What are you talking about? They put out an awesome poster earlier today.
Oh yeah. Oh God. God.
Look, just to be clear, I do hope Superman it destroys it. Like, because even with my problems with James Gunn, like at least the conversation around Superman is a nerd conversation. It still is a nerd conversation.
Yeah. It's not a female Silver Surfer.
Marvel is woke as fuck. So I would still hope that Superman does more. And I'm hoping Superman is good. But yeah, Jurassic Park might, like, the fact that those movies are still making money is crazy.
It is crazy.
And you don't have to worry about the dinosaurs saying something embarrassing in an interview.
Coming out in a skirt.
Not yet.
Not yet.
AI will change that pretty soon. But like
maybe this next movie will be a dinosaur trans allegory.
I do think
first
that
movie was
I feel like Jurassic Park or Jurassic World is kind of at that Michael Bay Transformers point where it's going to fall off a fucking cliff.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what about Superman. Superman better do all the money. It has to do. Every fucking penny, because the next film is Supergirl.
Yeah.
So if this goes down,
and it's based on a Tom King story. It is based on a fucking Tom King story.
Does Supergirl go down?
Oh, fucking like a 10-cent hooker, mate.
That'll make a lot of money. That'll make a lot of money. So
we're sheer facts. Supergirl is going to make less money than Superman. That's just what's going to happen. So if Superman makes nothing,
not if she goes down,
fails.
Yeah, make it for the male gaze.
Oh, they're going to be paying us to go see Supergirl.
They cast the wrong person for that.
But even if you just like say it out loud, oh well, Hollywood decided with a mostly male audience to not make movies for the male gaze. Even just the statement alone should have got everyone thrown out of the Hollywood room. Just like, you're an idiot, get out.
They don't understand that masculinity is still necessary. They're still trying to just root it out, root and stem.
Yep, trying to redefine
and
it.
they think only men like masculinity. When a lot of it is women also. Mm-hmm. The other half of the audience also like masculinity.
It's because a lot of it's essentially from the same sides. They want the same thing. So if you take GoldenEye, men get to see James Bond do incredible things, and then at the end he gets the woman. So they get the action, then they get the romance.
Chad drinks out of a pink cup.
The women get to see the man do the great things, fall in love with him throughout the movie, and then get with him because they project themselves onto the woman at the end. So that the male story encapsulates everyone. The female story is an entirely different thing where she's just amazing at the start and gets to choose between whoever she wants. Well, the men can't ever relate to that. It just doesn't work.
Well,
so if you make movies for men, you make them for everyone.
Speaking of Marvel, I'm seeing it said that they will not have a panel at San Diego Comic-Con this year. That was just announced. So
they're going to be doing reshoots for Doomsday around that time. So.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so originally Marvel was going to be there and DC was not going to be there, but now it's flipped. So DC will be there and Marvel won't be there.
That is from the Hollywood Reporter. So
they've got nothing to
Marvel
say.
Studios will not have a Hall H panel at San Diego Comic-Con this year via the Hollywood Reporter. That's what Screen Time just posted.
Wow.
There you go.
There it is.
Well, they've got nothing to promote. They don't really. Spider-Man 4 is it's not even being shot yet. So they got Vision Quest coming. Oh, Wonder Man. They should have done an entire panel on Ironheart will be done by the time it'll be forgotten by the time Comic-Con starts. It comes out in June, and I think it ends right before Comic-Con.
Hey Gary, do you think you get another video made about you going, it's still racism as Nerdrotic doesn't like
I hope
By
so.
the way, I'm a race-baiting piece of shit, and that's all my channel is.
Yep. Disney reportedly unhappy with MCU's 2026 movie slate.
You should see what we've got to say, mate.
Yeah, brother. Here's how Marvel Studios could fix it. Oh, and who's this, by the way? The direct. Okay.
If we bring in Jennifer Salke, we
well, yeah, I'll solve everything. Yeah.
It's basically just a report.
I've heard she's free.
Snyder.
What was that?
She's looking for work.
It's basically just a report from Jeff Snyder. Is what this is coming from. Yeah.
Why is everyone called fucking Snyder?
Scott, Jeff.
It all depends on how you spell it. Rick, what it means. So
same reason everybody's called fucking Ian in your country. So, Marvel.
Sorry, you had to hear that, comics.
Marvel Studios could fit its sparse 2026 release calendar with special anniversary screenings of beloved hits or reconfigured D+ shows. Reconfigured.
Reconfigured.
What? You mean good? You mean configuring them to be good? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah, there's the rumor out there that Bob Iger's not happy that they had to fucking delay a movie with 60 people in it. You know, like what? They're going to delay it again. I promise you. Fucking Doomsday will get pushed to May of, what is it right now? It's 2026. So May of 2027.
Right.
There's no way they're going to get this done.
Ironheart by 3 years.
Could be the most expensive film ever if they delay it that long.
I don't know how they get it done. It was bad enough with a year. Yeah, they need more women. That's obviously what they need. But I don't know how just 6 more months helps you with something, a script that's not finished, with multiple people that you're still signing. They still plan to bring actors in that they haven't signed yet. So I mean, if they pull it off, great. I think it could look a lot like The Flash. Doomsday could look a lot like The Flash. You're gonna have fucking we checked his age. It's 86-year-old Ian McKellen.
Patrick Stewart would be 85, so Ian McKellen would be 86.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not good.
Did you see do you see where I guess Tom Cruise is as old as Ian McKellen was
during Gandalf?
Yeah.
Now,
and I'm like, oh, that is wild.
Too.
And they're both gay.
Maybe that's the secret.
Yeah, exactly. The secret.
I won't think Tom
Cruise regiment going on.
We finally discovered where it is.
Way more gay than Ian McKellen ever has, which was like declare that he loves a woman. You know, I mean, how fucking cringe and gay
Jeremy's
is that?
90.
Ian McKellen could never.
Oh, fuck.
Ian McKellen is doing. He's involved with the production of a Shakespeare play. That's going to be all non-binary and trans people.
Yes.
So it's going to be all dudes, just like Shakespeare used to do.
Back to tradition.
Full circle.
Full circle. Is there anything in this article of note at all? I mean, it's just
I started to think that the alphabet
it's a
community
scooper.
is fucking secretly based as fuck.
Russell T Davis was in the last episode.
Wait! Stop right there. Look
Anniversary
at that
screening.
thumbnail. They made fucking Robert Downey Jr. look black.
They made him the minute ago.
Look at his Tropic Thunder.
I'm a land farmer.
They made him look like a
What the
gangster.
hell?
He's like, why is he staring at his hair? Like, that is impressive.
I love your. Well,
Look at that wig.
he's saying, I love your hair plugs, Chris Evans, because that's what he has.
Hairline for being 100 years old.
Yeah.
So essentially what this article is saying in summation is, according to Jeff Snyder, that Bob Iger is really upset that in 2026, they basically only have one movie on the schedule, which is Doomsday, because they do have Spider-Man 4. They've got Spider-Man Brand New Day, whatever that is, but it's a Sony project. Obviously in collaboration with Marvel Studios, but when it comes to money, Sony gets the lion's share of the box office from those ventures.
75-25 split.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that's not really anything for Marvel.
And
so
it's coming out at the end of the year, so they're getting it like for a couple of weeks in 2026, and that's it.
Right. And it's funny because Bob Iger is the one who almost a year ago to the day in early May of 2024 said, you know what, we're really focused on quality over quantity.
For the fifth consecutive year. For the fifth consecutive year. And now he's upset. So who fucking knows?
Star Trek's going to be
if you
more
think
like the
the
real Star Trek in the next series.
Yep.
If you tell a lie enough times, eventually it becomes the truth.
Well, you start believing it yourself.
You start believing
Well, that'd be
it.
really dangerous, because then
get
he's like,
Blake
screw
Snow.
quality, I want quantity, and he just starts pumping it out.
Well,
That's where we've been.
Well, I love every streamer is talking about this. We're going to focus more on quality. So thanks for admitting all your stuff was shit. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. And the idea to reconfigure some of the Marvel shows, they've got the Punisher thing, which is supposed to come out in 2026, which is supposed to be like an hour-long special Marvel presentation. They theorized maybe expanding that out to a full, like a 90-minute movie that you release. They talked about editing down Wonder Man, the series, into a theatrical release. And I'm like, that's fucking retarded. Nobody's going to watch Wonder Man in the theaters.
No.
They're not going to watch it on TV.
They're going to watch. If they offered it for free, nobody's going to watch it. Okay. If they put it on broadcast.
There is a little bit that you could say to, hey, we spent, say, $150 million on Wonder Man. No idea what they spent on it. I'm just saying. We spent $150 million on Wonder Man. It's going to go on Disney Plus and rot and do nothing and not move the needle at all.
Yeah.
Would it be better for us to just put it in theaters, have it make $100 million? Say it flops historically, $100 million. They only get $50 million of that from the box office. In theory, that might be better than just put it on Disney Plus.
Ryan, I've got an idea. Hear me out.
Mm.
Why the fuck did you make it?
Yeah.
Oh, Wonder Man?
Yeah.
So they could turn him black?
because the resemblance of the actor to the main character is uncanny. For one.
Yeah,
okay,
he was
absolutely.
doing a Robert Downey
1-to-1.
Jr.
No.
in Tropic Thunder. Yes.
Yes. No. As somebody who had read Wonder Man in the fucking Avengers, I still ask why in the fuck would you make the show? Even if you cast it accurately, I would wonder why you would make this fucking show. It's like, what?
No, because they just wanted to make a fucking show with a black lead. This is the decision-making process. Start and finish. These are not money-making decisions. These are not smart decisions. They're all ideological decisions. And as far as I'm concerned, waste as much money. Put it in the theater. It's going to cost you more money to trim it down, put it in the theater, and you'll still lose fucking head.
Remember the Deadpool PG? That thing. Fuck.
Yeah, the re-release. Yeah.
But I hope I'm with you guys. I hope they put it in theater. I really do. I want it to happen. Speaking of black men taking over for a white guy.
Snape. Steve Black.
No, before that.
You're going to have to be
specific.
Yeah.
So Marvel
Obama?
tweeted this out yesterday, and this is no question a direct response to Steve Rogers as Captain America. Like, without fucking question. Sam Wilson is Captain America. Yeah.
Wow.
He ain't.
Yeah, because otherwise it would be as
the
It's
box
like this
office
is
proved
personally
he is
written
not.
for you guys.
You know, this really, really reeks of any man who says he's a king is no king.
Yes,
kind of
correct.
Oh, yes.
Correct.
energy right there.
By the way, and it's fine, but am I the only one that doesn't see it? Because StreamYard's been acting up, but I cannot see what you're sharing.
I can see it.
You're the
I
only
can
one.
see it. I'm looking at it. I'm looking on the live stream feed, so I know it's showing up for the audience. So it happened to me yesterday. StreamYard sucks, by the way. Fuck,
Yeah, I don't know what
fuck
they're doing.
Yeah,
StreamYard.
it's garbage at the minute.
If you
It's
leave
really
and come back
bad.
in, it'll probably fix
It's
it.
crazy
I'll
how
hold
much.
off, it's fine.
I miss Google Hangouts, Jeremy.
I do too. I do too.
Oh,
Those were the
better.
days.
And it was
I miss
free,
Skype.
wasn't it? Free?
It was free.
Wasn't it
Yeah.
free? Yeah, it was free.
Yeah.
Bring back TeamSpeak.
With
Let's
all
go.
the streaming, with all the streaming out there
MSN
that there
Messenger.
is, like, this is the best we got. And believe me,
know.
we've looked,
We've
and there's
tried.
other things, and that just
And they're overly complicated.
Yep.
And it's not so much for us, but it's like, if you have a guest coming in, you don't have to teach them every time. But yeah, StreamYard sucks. And it's
For the
it's so
number of people we
overpriced.
have on screen at a time as well. It's another
I mean,
limitation.
we could do Zoom. No, I refuse.
No.
That
No.
Chinese
I
crap.
absolutely refuse. Is
Uh,
San
Have you
Diego
ever tried
Comic Con
Riverside?
trending?
That's what we're talking about.
Is Comic Con trending? Why? Because Marvel's not going to be
Marvel
there.
just said they're not going to be
Probably.
there.
Well,
Probably.
Marvel's
They make
not.
more news when they say they're not going to do something than when they do something.
Marvel's not been there in the past, and I would argue 2 years ago when none of Hollywood showed up because of the strike, it was the best Comic Con in years. It was absolutely the best because it was just comics, and so stay away. I'm fine.
Why is San Diego Comic Con the Comic Con? Is it because Hollywood is always focused in on making big announcements there in Hall H and everything like that?
Yeah, that's the way it started. I mean, like it was one of the first, not the first, but one of the first. It was the first to have their shit together, and it was basically nonprofit run by a little over a dozen people for a long fucking time. Plus, it's in San Diego. Plus, its proximity to LA. But the Hollywood shit didn't really start getting there and completely taking over until 2005. Is right. And before that, it was just the biggest Comic-Con. And it would still be the biggest comic. I know MegaCon has more people, but the fire marshal came in the mid 2000s and capped it. Absolutely capped it. So you can only have a certain, and that's going to happen to MegaCon too. Promise you.
MegaCon's almost impossible to walk around.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
it's fucking crazy.
It's
Dude, at one point we were going down an escalator and
we
the
almost
crowd
got
of
killed.
people
We almost got
literally
killed.
not moving. We almost got crushed.
That was after our panel. That's our panel.
But what's
And I was like,
crazy?
we're gonna die.
And there's a person in a giant Eevee costume, like black
Yeah.
everything.
So the fire marshal came in and
that's
capped
like
everything, but he made for one, it made the tickets harder to get. And then more comps came out because of Hollywood, so fewer the public, and that's why they started selling out. Because you used to be able to, up until 2005-06, just walk up to Comic-Con that day, get a ticket, you wait in a big long line, you get in, no problem. Now it's impossible to get the ticket. The hotel prices are insane. The San Diego is fucking retarded. It has always been retarded when it comes to they have the worst fucking airport that they've needed to replace for 40 fucking years. They won't add anything to the convention center. They didn't do shit for the Chargers to fucking build them a stadium. And it took an act of God to get that Padres stadium down there. which is great, by the way. But San Diego's fucking retarded. It's always been retarded.
Is MegaCon now the biggest Comic-Con in the country? I'm not sure if it is.
If it's at 180, if it's at 180, it's bigger.
New York, I think it is the biggest in North America right now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's to the point you can't even move there. So
I was concerned. I was like,
said pod race stadium, Gary. I thought you said pod race stadium.
Pod race,
the old booty classic. You know,
they should have done it.
Spinning.
You know what they used to do with the stadium until somebody got fucking killed is they would do the zombie 5K. So it's a Walking Dead. You're running through and you're being chased by zombies and stuff until a woman got fucking hit. What? Oh, this is tragic. This is a tragic story.
That's why you have a smile on your face.
Yeah, that's why you're laughing.
Terrible.
It is terrible.
Tell a story about a woman who got killed.
A deaf guy was in a car and he saw one of the zombies come up and he didn't know what the fuck was going on and he fucking killed.
Oh my
god! And he killed somebody.
Tragic.
What?
It's happening.
Yeah, yeah. That's only. Yeah.
Oh my god!
And the zombie was a woman.
I think. Well, yeah. A couple of people got killed in successive years waiting in front for the con that had nothing to do with the zombie run. Like
Ryan got so happy when you mentioned as a deaf guy. He got so happy.
Yeah, like everyone immediately starts laughing at this terrible story. It's like I forget that Asian comedian's name, but he's like, I used to get molested by a retarded guy.
I was thinking of that exact clip.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay, we won't laugh. I was brutally molested by a
Bobby Lee. Yeah, Bobby Lee.
Brutally now.
I got mugged right by
yes, you did.
Stadium, in between there and the convention center. So yeah.
Wow.
That shit happens down there.
Was it by a deaf woman?
It was not.
Looked like a zombie.
Depends on your definition. I suppose you could have included them as retarded.
Maybe a fentanyl zombie.
Well, there's plenty of those down there. Yeah, they're replaced by the real zombies in downtown San Diego, which is turned into LA South. So well done, everybody there. What do you want to talk about next, Garrett?
Let's see. Harry Potter?
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Speaking of gender and race swapping, because that's going away, right? Oh no, it's not.
They're moving away from the woke Hollywood stuff.
So
more accurate to the source material. Harry Potter.
This is another right up there with female Silver Surfer. It's just the dumbest business decision you can possibly make. It was very deliberate, just like with the female Silver Surfer. It wasn't for accuracy. It wasn't the best person for the job or any of that complete fucking bullshit. It was for agenda. It was, we're going to pick one of the most important characters that's coded as white as fucking possible to use their fucking language. And we're going to make it Black Snape. And then we're not even going to make him be a black guy that looks like Snape. We're just going to get some fucking, as Ryan says, some guy off of fucking GQ Nigeria or whatever the fuck. and I like Ryan, I talked about it. I can't wait for the first fucking reveal of Black Snape, because if he has straight fucking hair, greasy straight hair, I want him to go full fucking Afro Snape. I want him to have like an Afro pick up here. I want him to be Brother Snape.
About Harry Potter.
Brother Snape. That's what I want.
Yeah, Jerry Curl. Jerry Curl Soul Glow.
Yeah, you'd have to give him dreads. That's the way they'd be like, well, what's the hybrid?
That's
version?
probably what they're gonna do.
I just can't wait to see Harry be super fucking suspicious of him for no fucking reason.
Harry like reaches for his wallet.
Ryan, so for those of us that aren't Harry Potter experts, tell us exactly why this ruins the entire story. Basically, this is how important Snape is as a character, right?
Fundamentally changes the dynamic of the fucking books.
Yeah.
And then the dynamics of Snape as a character as well, because as big of a piece of shit as he is, if you just watch the movies, you probably think that, oh, Snape's actually just a good guy the entire time and he's faking all this stuff and what a hero.
Yeah.
And although Snape does do some very brave things, he's kind of equal parts absolutely evil piece of shit, and also equal parts brave and heroic when it comes to some of the things he did. But there's also this whole dynamic of his backstory and his parents and he was poor and he got bullied at school and he got bullied by Harry's dad and Sirius Black and shit like that. He literally gets hung up beneath a tree, not by a rope, but by magic underneath a tree so they can all fucking make fun of him. And so in this context, if you change him to black, it's going to look like they're fucking lynching the black kid.
Yes. 100%.
I'm not just saying that hyperbolic.
And this is all because he fell in love with a white girl and lost her. And dude,
and Mudblood, the whole all
of
that.
That's the thing. You're essentially bringing in American cultural hang-ups to an English IP where they don't belong.
Yep,
that's the issue for me.
Yes, 100%.
If you want the thing to appear English, then it's got to be full of English people. And the more you go away from that, now it's going to feel like England now rather than England then, and you end up with an entirely different setting with entirely different people, entirely different belief systems.
We need bad teeth.
The only really Snape never did anything kind for Harry because all he saw was James the whole time. But I'd say the only act of kindness he did was like at the very end. And I'm not like totally in love how they killed Snape even in the book. But I
think it's good.
Wait,
it's all right. It's all right. Sorry to spoil.
Spoilers?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Put a spoiler warning out, please.
What? He dies?
But he is a highly complex character, right?
Yes, very complex.
He dedicates his life to saving the life of Lily Evans' son.
Yep.
While simultaneously trying to make James Potter's son life as miserable as fucking possible.
Yep.
It just so happens that's the same person. You know? So he is especially for this story, which is a rather simple in the grand scheme of things. He is the most complex and one of the most important characters in Harry Potter.
And that's why they switched him to black. That's it.
I'm just glad J.K. Rowling made a big response to this casting, but she hasn't said anything about Snape casting.
Nope.
Yeah.
But if somebody could please convince her that this black actor is transgender, she will go scorched earth.
No holds barred.
Jeremy, I think her speaking to this casting pretty much says it all. And it's mostly because it's the kids, right? So they were, Ron, Hermione, and Harry were cast. And
we can get away with one of them.
I'll be honest.
I think it's fine.
The actress cast to play Hermione, Arabella Stanton, she is like a slight shade darker than the way Hermione should be in the books. I have no idea what her ethnicity is, her background, no idea about any of that. Yeah. It's fine to me. It's not a perfect casting, but it's fine with me, this casting of Hermione. And she also played Matilda. I don't know if anybody's seen any clips or anything from that. I imagine her portrayal of Matilda on West End is one of the things that got her this role as Hermione, including the way that they look, the way that she looks with her bushy hair and stuff like that in that play.
There's a clip going around, and I couldn't find it for the show, but there's a clip of her audition for another role.
Yes.
And she sounds just like Hermione.
Yeah. And I don't think it's a perfect casting, but I think it's pretty good.
No, after Black,
the other two are perfect.
Yeah, they're perfect. My daughter, she is super into Harry Potter right now. She's read the books like 8 times in a row. She's always talking about it. As soon as she saw this, and she's kind of the same skin tone. She almost looks exactly like this girl, and she goes, "That's not Hermione." It was like, and no prompting no prompting of like the reaction to it. I was just like, "Hey, they casted. Like, what do you think?" And she was like, "She doesn't look like Hermione."
She wasn't like, "Oh, I see myself."
I don't know. There's a little bit, like I agree with Ryan. Like I don't mind. I did see her audition, really good, and she's a kid, so it's more on the casting director to just be like,
after Black Snape, it doesn't really fucking matter at this point.
It doesn't matter. Like she's fine. I think I would be totally okay with her being Hermione. It's Snape. Snape is a problem. At least she kind of looks like Hermione in a way, and she acts like Hermione.
Yeah, she's got the teeth.
She's got the teeth. Yeah, she's got the teeth.
Yes, just being legitimate. She has teeth like Hermione. Her hair should be bushier than that when they do it for the show. She's like one skin tone darker than Hermione is portrayed.
Yeah, we look at the skin tone sheet. She's like here.
And look, if you try to, she could very
like
well
picking
be one
out
of those people
beiges.
that if you're out, she could very be one of those people. If you're out in the sun, you get a little darker. If you're not in the sun, you're lighter. I don't know.
Yeah.
However, it has to be discussed that if when Hermione gets called a mudblood, right?
Right. It
When
changes
this
shit.
actress, and I have no idea what her ethnicity is, no idea anything. Like when she gets called a mudblood, how are you going to portray that? How is that going to come across? These are important things. When Hermione in season 4 is working to help free the house elves from enslavement, and everyone treats her like she's a fucking retard and a joke for wanting to free house elves from being enslaved, how is that going to come across? Those are questions you have to ask when it comes to this, but I really don't have a problem with this one. Yeah. I can't get over Black Snape.
In the first book, do we ever get to know her parents, or do we see her parents at any point? Like
they're Muggles.
Yeah, well, I know they're Muggles, but I'm just trying to say, like, is that something that they're gonna like cast for in the first season to establish what her background actually is?
I don't know if they aren't really discussed.
I don't remember
any
them
detail other than their dentist.
First book, that like later on they come in.
I think in the second book they're in.
The only time you would possibly see them is at King's Cross at the very end of the book, but I don't like Hermione or Harry has the conversation with Ron and stuff about going back to the Dursleys, but I don't know if we ever see Hermione's parents specifically in that. I don't think we see her parents until book 3. Wait, maybe 2. I don't know if they're
thinking maybe 2 when they're buying 2.
They might go to Diagon Alley to meet with them, and her parents might be there exchanging money, and Mr. Weasley might be talking to them
at the bookstore, maybe.
Yeah, that's about the potentially,
because that's like the only thing I can think of where fight, and if they cast them a certain way, it might be we're trying to present this in a specific light.
It bothers me more with the Snape thing because of the context of the lynching thing and all of that.
And it's so obviously deliberate.
Egregious.
It's just so obviously deliberate. Like, don't even try to like sell that that this guy was the best job for the job.
Well, to lessen the racial undertones of the lynching, they might actually cast Sirius Black as a black guy now.
Probably. I mean, we still
so on the nose.
There's a lot more casting to do. We still need to cast some Death Eaters. That'll be later. I mean, they're probably just casting early on for season 1.
Snoop Dogg for Voldemort.
Or Kanye.
On the nose castings for names wouldn't be the worst thing, because like Smith's son was a blacksmith's son. So actually your last name did generally come from what your work or what people recognize you and stuff.
Hey, you're black. Seriously.
No, at the time it would be incredibly unusual for someone to travel the world. Like, this is why it doesn't make sense. People go back in time and treat it as if it was all perfectly normal. Everyone did. No, there were exceptional things that people did comment on, because I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Well, this show will be heavily scrutinized. I don't know the budget that was going around for the show. I don't know if that was true or not. That seemed a little insane to me. But I can imagine it being minimum $10 million an episode. That's minimum. That's what they spent on Star Trek Discovery. So it would probably be more than that.
It's gonna be really fucking expensive, and there might be a lot of costs up front because you're building all the sets, you're building Privet Drive that you're going to use for 10 years, you're building all this stuff that you're going to use for 10 years up front. But there's no way you can convince me that after that.
Said they're reusing stuff from the movies. They're still
castle locations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Is Harry Potter still right now the biggest nerd franchise just on name
fantasy?
Recognition?
Yes.
I don't know if I'd say nerd franchise.
I'd say
if you're just talking about like a fantasy or a fictional.
Like I'm talking about like everything, whether it's Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Marvel, DC, Harry Potter, shit like that. Like, likely, is there?
Which the only
Pokemon's
one
still
of
pretty
those that
big,
hasn't
so.
been utterly destroyed quite yet.
Yeah.
Well,
I know the Fantastic Beasts movies weren't huge successes. I know that those didn't light the box office on fire.
Right. But the game that blew the fuck up. But there was a lot of discourse around
it's millennial
that.
Star Wars. Harry Potter is millennial Star Wars. It grew up with an entire generation.
There's probably a lot of IPs on like gaming. Like I mentioned Pokemon, like that's probably bigger, but
it's
still pretty big.
Pokemon's probably Pokemon's probably the biggest.
What's that little cat?
Difference here is you have movies that were really popular of varying degrees of quality, books that were more popular, and then merchandise that sells like fucking crazy. That's where all the money comes from, is the merchandise. And I mean, like Barnes and Noble has entire. I mean, transphobic Barnes and Noble fucking has entire fucking wing dedicated to Harry Potter. So.
Yeah, all the ranking systems going off series, so obviously some series have more books than others, but all of them put Harry Potter as number 1 and then Goosebumps as number 2.
Goosebumps is big for
Wow.
books. For
Probably
books.
just
Well-
it's also got a
For books,
huge
yeah.
array of books that can all add up to it. But Harry Potter beats it by a couple of 100 million.
Oh yeah.
So it's not even close.
Yeah, and it's set up really well because it appeals to both girls and boys. So like you have that kind of spread.
Cross pollination.
The potential for this to be really huge is really high, I think.
Well, luckily, it's going to appeal to racists
But-
soon.
Yeah, well, now you got some people pissed
So
off
I'm
with
all
Black
in.
Snape. You got some people pissed off because J.K. Rowling has anything to do with it at all in any way, shape, or form.
Well, that's 0.04%, and of that 0.4%, 41% will be missing in a couple of years. So
you also do have a legitimate section of people that are like, "Why is this happening? I love the movies. I just care about the movies. This will never replace
Steiner
it for me."
math.
And the movies are so interesting to me because I don't think we've ever seen anything like them before. A beloved series that makes it to a film adaptation that has 8 entries, and virtually all of them are critically liked. The audience likes them. They all made a lot of fucking money.
Yep.
And even like normies who had never seen it before like them, and people that read the books, even though they know they made a lot of changes and like this, they still love them too. It's such a unique thing that the movies were able to achieve, especially when casting kids at 10 and having them on board for the entire fucking time.
And
that's why the bar is so high for this series.
Well, also, the books coming out on time.
Yep.
That's a tease.
Yeah.
That's a tease.
Yep.
Every couple years, so you were able to grow up with that generation. Like you were even matching people in their school year and everything. So like it's that's why the kids. And then you captured another one with the movies, as Ryan was saying. So like you had like a good 15 years of building a fan base, and it's just gotten bigger. And Fantastic Beasts, it didn't affect it negatively at all. They were just like nothing movies. And, you know, Harry Potter has to have Harry Potter in it, or at least Hogwarts. Yeah. You know, I don't know if you can.
Hogwarts, I think.
It's got to have Hogwarts. But,
well, we did the video on it, and all of the controversies and all of the trans rights or whatever, she's made more money and sold more books and merchandise and all that stuff now.
Yeah, now.
Than she ever has. It's only gone up. So, like...
She's got fucking money for sure.
So you think they would, you know, maybe want to learn from Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Marvel, fucking Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, and maybe just adapt the book accurately. Maybe go out on a limb and do that radical act of adapting the book accurately, because nobody would have fucking complained at all. You know what? If you race swap, God, if you race swap Mrs. McGonagall, Professor Sprout, it wouldn't be as bad as race swapping Snape, you know.
Little Flitwick. I want to see a little Flitwick black guy.
Yeah.
It would have been the
Cast
perfect
the real
opportunity
small guy.
to clear out your company of people that will just bankrupt you. Like you get Harry Potter and you'd be like, okay, I think we should race swap Snape. Anyone that goes, fire them.
Fire immediately.
Use that as bait to get rid of them.
You are
and then you're just
terrible.
left with
You
people
should
that
not be
there.
allowed to make any decision, at all. You shouldn't be allowed to pick your groceries anymore. Somebody should do it for you because you're fucking retarded.
You can't be trusted with
You
your
can't be trusted with your own grocery shopping.
That's fine. They're getting cake from now on.
Yes. Let's
Cake
send
and
me
Dorito.
cake. Let's send me
Cake and Monster.
Oh, George R. Martin, a guy, by the way, who took a little slap at J.K. Rowling many years ago. I don't know if you remember this, Ryan. She won, like a Hugo Award or something like that, and he felt like he should have won that award. And he took some swipes at her. Since those swipes, though, he hasn't written a single fucking book. Okay, just want to point that out. And J.K. Rowling finished her series and has stuff in parks and
she still writes shit as her fucking other pen name thing.
Yeah.
The Inkabog, I think, which was actually a pretty good book for kids. Read it, Inkabog.
Is that what it's called? But you know, George doesn't write, even though he still loves it. Though he still likes it apparently. And we hadn't heard from George for a month because when they announced the Direwolf was coming back and everybody was fucking clowning him like the Direwolf came back before we got, wins a winner, which they should.
Yeah, they should. Absolutely.
No, the best meme is they found a clay tablet of fucking Gilgamesh in between the time of A Dance of Dragons and A Winds of Winter, and somebody's all, we've gotten more Gilgamesh.
The oldest story humanity has told.
And Christopher Tolkien when he was alive, and they've still published more Tolkien works in the last 10 years than George R. Martin has done anything for A Song of Ice and Fire outside of world building books, right? So a month ago, he got a lot of shit and he clapped back at it. He's like, I get it. You guys are just bugging me about. Well, he did it again. And it's just getting sad at this point. It's getting very sad at this point. So he talks about the guy who did Bubba Hotep, which is a great fucking movie, by the way. One of the fucking Bubba. He's doing something with the 12 Trials of Hercules. He's putting it in in the South. I'm sure it'll deal with racism or whatever. I don't care. So he's doing that, and
a dozen tough jobs, the things a strong slave has to do to free himself from his master.
A lot of things. A lot of things.
Yep. So he's
clean out them stables, boy.
Yep. So he talks about that nobody cares about. He's all, I know. Some of you will just be pissed off by this, as you are by everything I announce here.
Wow.
That is not Westeros or the Winds of Winter.
You think it's getting to him? You think it's getting to him?
Why don't you finish the book? People will stop talking about it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
5,000.
Simple plan right there.
How many days?
5,071.
How long would it really take him to finish?
At
what?
least 13 years.
If he sat down and just banged it out, how much time do you think it could take him?
The problem with the way that he writes is that he doesn't just sit down and write a fucking book beginning to end.
No.
He writes little different stories. He writes through different characters. He goes back to write a different character. He changes things around. And one of the true issues is that he has so many goddamn point of view characters at this point. And now finally we're at the point where you can't keep them separated any longer, where they all have to come together and he has to find a way to make it work. So it's not like what he has to do, like say in Marine and things like that for Winds of Winter. It is not a simple thing.
No.
And these are not simple stories. They're incredibly complex. With that being said, it doesn't take 13 or 14 fucking years.
No, yeah, and it's taken that much because he's lost interest, and he'll deny that. But if you were interested in your story, you'd finish it. You just would, and it's okay to admit that. But let's go on. Okay, so he's listened to some of the criticism out there. You have given up on me or on the book. I will never finish Winds. No, you won't.
Here, hold on.
No, you just won't.
Let me make it Gary size.
Thank you for. I'm like.
The colors also are a little difficult for the old eye.
I will never finish Winds. And if I do, I will never finish A Dream of Spring. You will never finish A Dream of Spring. You just won't.
He has had spent more time watching YouTube videos and looking at posts on social media than he has writing lately. Because, I mean, that is true. A lot of us have said he's never going to fucking get it done. And then we say, if he does, he'll never finish the last one.
That's true.
Because it is a reality, yeah.
You think the simple answer is if you want to prove people wrong, finish the fucking books. That's all you have to do.
I've never said I don't know if anybody if I do, it won't be any good. I've never said that. I just said he'd never finish.
A lot of people have said he doesn't know how to finish, and the end of the series is the actual ending, and it was crap. That's probably what you're referring to.
But here's the deal. Like with the ending of that, that's how the series is going to end, and I don't think he's going to change it. And I think his version would have been 1,000 times better than the TV show because he's got 2 gigantic books to build up Daenerys' heel turn, and we got that big fucking spoiler from House of the Dragon where Aegon's prophecy, and that's going to play into it too. Mm-hmm. I think what he's having a problem with is you still have to end it. You have to end it like a traditional story. This is a very non-traditional story, and you still have to end it with traditionalism. And you still have to end it in a satisfying way, which if you've read, I haven't read a ton of his other works, but I have. He's like a Twilight Zone short story writer, and a lot of his stuff has very ambiguous endings, very bittersweet, ambiguous endings. And I think he's probably having trouble with that. And you also have 1,000 YouTubers making 1,000 theory videos, and some of them are pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I
watch them all the
Take one of them.
Yeah, I was just telling Garrett, Ryan, I got sucked in the fucking rabbit hole. I'm fucking listening to David Lightbringer again and Deep Geek, and and some of the theories are really fucking good. And you're like, and he's probably like, "Oh, that's a better idea. I can't hype that idea now."
Yeah. He really wrote himself into a fucking corner with all, like, as complex and as awesome as the books are. Like you just said, it has to end in a satisfying way. That doesn't mean that everybody wins, but it needs to be satisfying. It can't just be more of the lame, turn. Oh, expectations diverted. It has to be satisfying. So for him to do that, it's gonna be so difficult for him. 13 years though.
Like the thing is, with what Disparu said, I think what Disparu said is exactly what George R.R. Martin is worried about. Because he said that the ending's actually going to be like it is, and that was dog shit. The thing is, we could have seen essentially all of the exact same things play out in terms of the key plot points that happen throughout this finale of Game of Thrones. If it's done from George the right way, it can all make a ton of sense, because there's so many things that are missing from the show. Also, there's things that are added to the show, like Arya killing the Night King isn't going to be a big fucking deal in the books, because the Night King doesn't fucking exist. That's not a thing. That's not real. So Arya killing the Night King is not a thing that will happen in the books, because that character doesn't exist. Daenerys burning King's Landing, in all likelihood, is not just going to be because the fucking bells and Cersei and all this stuff. It's likely going to be because her fake, because Aegon, who is supposedly the son of Rhaegar that escaped, but is not really. He's probably a fake Aegon. Has taken over King's Landing and is raising the Targaryen banners. And after all this shit that Daenerys went through, to see the people of King's Landing giving him the celebration that she thought she had earned, and that's going to make
we're going to get another Dance of the Dragons, which is why it gets brought up all the time in the book. They're building a lot of stuff up, like Bran going to be on that throne. Bran is going to be on that throne. They've been setting it up since the beginning. For sure. And you know what? Jon will get exiled beyond the wall, probably. And that's an actual happy ending for him. We'll never know, guys.
We will never know.
We will never know.
I think the best chance that we're going to get an ending to these is if he passes away. Sad, pass away, and somebody takes his notes and they do a version of the story and they wrap it up and say these were his writings of. That's the only way we're going to get. He
said he'll never let that happen.
Bastard.
Also, you had Wheel of Time that got taken over by his wife, who used to edit his books. So you had someone that he both trusted and knew his work intimately to then carry on the work. Whereas George doesn't have that.
Nope. Yeah. Well, he's got Elio Garcia out there, and he's got his minions, and James S.A. Corey, which is actually two writers who are kind of proteges from him, could finish it, but I don't think Pride will allow him to do that. I think this is a lot of fucking pride.
Has he actually mentioned that he does not want someone else to finish?
Yes, multiple times.
Times.
That's bitter. That is bitter.
Yeah, we're almost 14 years from the last release, and even that one was only half of a book.
It was half of a book,
right? So the last book in totality that was released was Storm of Swords, which is fucking amazing, by the way.
Yes.
Storm of Swords is
best book.
I think it's the best book. You have so many big events that happen in there, mind-blowing things. A lot of things change for a lot of different characters. Storm of Swords is awesome. That was released in like 2000. And then the next book he was working on got too big. He wasn't able to release it all at once, so they decided to split that into two, and you get Feast for Crows, and then
it took him 6 more years to edit the other half of the book that he'd already written. And then he took out, I think, is it 11 or 12 chapters of that to save for Winds of Winter. And those are all the sample chapters that are out there.
Yeah,
so there's a big chunk
already
written that was taken out of the other book that took him, 13 years or 11 years to write.
Wow.
11 years. But now we're in the 14 years. So he says.
And also you have other things like, does George R.R. Martin, now that he's got all this fame, now he's got all this shit, does he really want to talk about fucking incest raping of young kids? Does he really want to, you know what I mean? Does he really want
the
to get
social
when you take 30 years to write a book series, sometimes the times change around you, especially when he is the person who invited all the fucking woke people in sci-fi and fantasy now that will cancel him for mispronouncing a fucking name.
I know what you mean, Gary. Back in 1996, incest rape
was high. Yeah.
Nobody had a problem with it. It was all the rage. It was the 90s, man. It was a weird time. Bill Clinton was president. You know,
I did not have sexual relations with that Targaryen.
People were dropping a bunch of E and going to raves.
When you're famous, they let you grab. Never mind.
Depends on what your definition.
So I will never.
The problem
finish.
is like he doesn't respect the fact that after 14 years, people are still like waiting. They still want to read your book.
They're still showing interest in it. Yeah, that's good.
An amazing feat that you've been able to do and garner with your written books. People still care after that long. Respect that shit. Respect it. Put out the book.
Well, the issue is at some point they're going to stop caring.
He stopped caring a long time.
And when you say I'm never going to do it.
Well, I mean, they have. There's the Game of Thrones channels out there, the Song of Ice and Fire channels, and there's a hardcore fan base there. But normies who would have gone out and bought this book because of Game of Thrones, they're gone now. They're gone. Yeah. So he has cost his publisher fucking millions of dollars, and he's cost himself. But he keeps making TV deals, and guess what? They're in trouble now too. You know, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, easiest Game of Thrones to make, 6 episodes, gets delayed. Probably because House of the Dragon's getting delayed. They fucked up season 2 by knocking off the 2 episodes of last season. And they wanted, after House of the Dragon season 1, it was built back up again. We're going to get all these spinoffs, and now they all got kiboshed. So I think the whole thing's in trouble, and he sounds like George is under a little bit of pressure now. So again, if I will never finish Winds, and if I do, I will never finish Dream of Spring, and if I do, it won't be any good. I ought to get some other writer to pinch hit for me. Yes. I'm going to die soon anyway. No, I don't want you to, because I'm so old. 76 years old, by the way. He's 76. I lost
not that old.
An unhealthy 76.
Get us Winds of Winter. I'm fine with it.
I lost all interest in the Song of Ice and Fire decades ago. I'll just say a decade ago. I won't say decades ago. I don't give a shit about writing any longer. Oh no, that's true. You like the blog a lot. That's the thing is, and other people brought this up. He's way more into world building than he is into writing this. I think if he could just spend his time building out Westeros and Planetos with world building books, that's what he'd do.
I can't believe he's actually writing this all out. Like, I don't know. It's just like a
Christy, this blog spanned years and years and years. And he always hops on here and just spews out he acts like it's his fucking diary.
It really looks like
always does this stuff where he plays victim and blames fans and creates like a lot of comments and stuff. And I don't think there's very many people out there that think he truly doesn't care about this series that he's created.
Yep.
I do think he cares. I think he's scared. I think there's a lot of complications, but I also think that he thinks if he doesn't finish it, his legacy is more intact. I don't think he cares enough. And I think he owes the people that were with him in 1996, when all of his shit had fucking failed, when all of the things he'd put out before had failed, when he failed in Hollywood, when he failed in all this stuff, the people that have been with him for decades and decades following these stories, the people that made him the smash hit, the multi-millionaire that he is because the series blew up the way it did. I think he owes those people a completion of the story, and I don't think he thinks he owes them that.
He doesn't.
I think that's the problem.
He doesn't. I mean, technically, no, he doesn't, but he is obligated because you said it's a 7-book series, and people, as Ryan just said, have supported you and like still do. Some people like hold out hope and say, leave George alone. And of course, Neil Gaiman, he's doing real well these days, said famously that George R. Martin is not your bitch, but neither are the customers, and you do have an obligation to them when they've invested so much. You should feel like you do.
Well, Neil Gaiman might have a different idea of what people want to do. You might think I want to slather butter all over my dick and fucking gas. I just want him to write a book. All right, Neil Gaiman?
Well, I don't think we'll be hearing from Neil Gaiman anytime soon. I lost all interest in the Song of Ice and Fire decades ago. I don't give a shit about writing any longer. I just sit around and spend my money. I mean, did buy a choo-choo train.
Accurate, though.
Yeah. I edit the Wild Cards books, too. Nobody cares. But you hate Wild Cards. You may see he watches everybody's videos. He does. You may hate everything else I have ever written. The Hugo winners and the Hugo losers. A Song for Laia and Dying of the Light. Sand Kings, Beauty and the Beast, The Towers of Ashes, The Stone City, Old Bars, Old Venues, blah, 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 all of this. Dangerous Women.
Venus.
Warriors and Dangerous Women, which have a Song of Ice and Fire stories in them. And all the other anthologies I've edited with my friends. You don't care about any of those. I know. You don't care about anything but Wins a Winner. You've told me so often enough. Thing is, I do care about them, the other things. So scroll down a little bit. And we understand that. And I care about Westeros and Winds as well. The Starks, the Lannisters, the Targaryens, Tyrion and Asha, Dany and Daenerys. The dragons and the direwolves. I care about them all more than you can ever imagine.
The issue with it is it doesn't matter. It's not the audience's job to care about any of this. How much you care, how much you don't care, what you've written, what other work you're doing. All they want is the product. And if the product doesn't exist, then they're going to hate you for it. He's acting as if you owe him the empathy and sympathy. Is like, well, I'm a bit bored and I want to do other things. Like, no.
Nope. 5,071 days.
He's digging his own hole even deeper every day that goes by.
It's like he was the guy that decided to write a series this long. He could have written 5-book series, and that would have been it. Like, he set up his own goals.
I think, he doesn't want to do it, but he should split Wins.
That's the problem, is he probably should. Wins a Winner is probably too big. So that should probably be split out, which then means it's going to be another 5 years before we get the second half of Wins. Which means after another 15 years, we get Dream of Spring. And George R. R. Martin's 112 years old.
At least
it'll happen for sure.
Can he have like helper writers and then like he gets to read it over? And if it's nothing, he wouldn't say.
Too much pride. It sounds like he doesn't, especially by the fact that he doesn't want anyone else to finish it. That seems bitter to me. Like he resents the idea that anyone dare kind of, touch his work.
I can kind of get that. It's his creative vision, and to have somebody else finish it, I'm sure is a major blow to his pride.
Yeah, but I reckon that's a slap in the face of the fans, though, that have invested.
It ultimately is, Shad. You're right, but to a certain degree, I can understand why he doesn't want someone else to finish his book. I get it.
The fans were pretty patient for a while. I mean, for 7 or 8 years, people were just like, I was like, yeah, let's just let him cook, let him go. We're at almost 14 years. It's July 11th. Is it? I always have it. It's July 12th, 2011, when A Dance of Dragons came out. That date is seared in my head because that's what I look at for the days. And it, I put up the Conan clip, which we can't play, but that skit is so fucking funny from Conan O'Brien. That skit is 10 years old.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's not as if he's had real time though to get this stuff done. I mean, he only started in 1991.
Well, like Game of Thrones came out.
That's my whole fucking life. My God.
96.
96. It was finished. Yeah, the first book. Came out.
Clash of Kings came out like 2 years after that.
Yep.
Is that a video game?
And then Storm of Swords came out 2 years after that in 2000.
Yep.
Then we got into this, okay, look at all these characters I've set up. I want to do more. I want to do more. I want to do more. You write this massive book that's way too big. So in like 2005 or 2006 is when Feast for Crows gets put out. Which is just focusing on some of the characters' stories during this time. And then the second half of this book that you edit and put out ends up becoming A Dance of Dragons, comes out in 2011, which is the other characters that we knew we needed to talk about that weren't in Feast for Crows. And it's been 14 years since then.
Yeah, fans are going to say, there are writers who would kill to have fans bugging them to finish their books.
Yeah.
What George needs gratitude in his life. This is what my sponsor used to. It's like, instead of saying, I have to go to work, you get to go to work. You don't have to finish Wins a Winner. You get to finish Wins a Winner because a lot of people like it. It made you very fucking rich. Massive TV shows. Now giant corporations are depending on him, and he probably feels a lot of pressure, you know? And, you know, he's got all those kids to distract him. Oh, no, he doesn't have any kids.
Wow,
so, like,
He's not married, is he?
George is just over there stroking his fat pink mast. I think.
How does he find it?
What he owes the fans is honesty. That's what he owes. Like, I can't finish it. I think that's what he owes the fans. He doesn't actually have to finish the book. You just owe him, and your publishers probably. They're probably
in all fairness, he's been given a very big hint. It's called 14 years.
The weird thing is he's not alone. Like Patrick Rothfuss, The King Killer Chronicles, I looked that up. 2007, 2011. That's 14 years again. Like, authors seem to start very successful series, sold 10 million copies, nothing. And it's like, well, I've made my money now, that'll do.
It feels like they've lost the hunger once they get the big cash grab. It's like you know, they're always aiming to be able to have that.
Yeah,
hit,
there's not many like Michael Jordans in the world who just want to be a fucking killer, and they make a ton of money. And it's like, no, I'm actually here to just win games and fucking dominate people. Yeah. So I mean,
there's also like other complications because this story changed right along the way while he was writing it. And originally they were supposed to be this big 5-year time jump, and different characters had completely different endings and different love interests and stuff like that. But as he wrote these, because of the way that he writes, and I think he describes it more as like a gardener than an architect, right? Yes. An architect who plans every little single thing out. The way he writes is more like tending a garden. Like, oh, well, that's growing there. Why don't we add that? Well, why don't we make sure we pick that out? Well, we could put something here, like that type of thing.
Yeah, another term for it is discovery writing, where you don't have a real structured plan, but you actually discover the story as you write, and yes, that can make it difficult when you have this multi-branching story with all these characters. If you haven't pre-planned stuff and you just it's very
J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling famously had the ending of Harry Potter locked away. She had that ending ready to go. We're gonna move on from George. I think there was a time that many people thought Wins a Winner was going to come out. It's not. It's just not. But let's talk about Hollywood real quick. Hollywood's been breaking up for many, many years. But one of the reasons it's broken up is because it's just films are just commodities. They're widgets now. And there's no more proof than that. We were talking about how generic soundtracks sound. Fucking movie posters, dude. What the hell happened to movie posters? And it's been going on for years, since Photoshop. Movie posters fucking suck. And we got Jurassic Park. This one just takes the cake, dude.
Oof.
A movie about dinosaurs.
The giant syringe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna close the version of it.
Is this a COVID ad?
I'll make
Is this
you a
Pfizer?
This time for your shots.
A massive turkey baster.
Where is that going to be shoved?
Where's Mahershala?
What even is this?
Like, dude, it's so terrible. There's so much open space. It's not centered right.
And she just disappears into nothing.
Into the logo.
The dinosaur should be way bigger.
Can somebody, because one of our memers, just take this picture and just replace ScarJo with Daisy Ridley's ass? That would be a much better poster. Okay,
Chef's kiss.
Wait, is that cave supposed to be like a monster's mouth?
Like, dude, it looks like Land of the Lost. Yeah.
Why would Island do that?
The Land of the Lost.
It looks like we're Immortan Joe.
Immortan Joe.
Yeah, he sends out the water.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But yeah, I mean, this is an incredibly lifeless, and I mean, this represents the franchise. To be fair, I mean, this poster does represent the current
franchise. It really
does. Because
just put the big dinosaur on it. That's all we want to see.
Yeah, that's it. That's
just
all
we're
eating
someone. This is better.
That's it.
Look at his eyes. It's like.
But it's just like there's so much
action after she shoved the thing up it.
It looks like this could have been done in Photoshop. I know my thumbnail people could have made this in 10 minutes.
Bro,
I can't wait till we find out that dinosaur's gay.
Or trans.
Well, they are all women.
They're already trans. Okay.
There you go. So yeah, movie posters used to be great. Even for shitty movies, they were great. Now, well, they look like comic book covers.
And what pisses me off about that too is they'll have artists painting them in real life. Like they did this to Drew Struzan a lot, and they won't use the poster.
I know
they use the shitty Photoshop one instead, and then they'll be like, "This is an alternate that we were."
Chris
unused.
has talked about, like, we didn't get it with this poster, but all the posters we get with the actors' faces, and one is a little bigger than the other, so that is negotiated in the deals. Like, you know, Chris Evans is like, "I want to be the bigger face on Doomsday than, you know, Robert Downey Jr. or something like that," and that's why you get all those face posters.
Pyramid.
The pyramid of negotiations.
I would have loved to have seen the negotiations for the Wheel of Time poster then, where the main character is at the back, up the corner, hidden behind everybody else.
I can't freaking stand that.
You put your primary actor in the little corner up here.
I would have loved to see the negotiations with John Boyega and the Chinese.
Yeah. You understand.
Disparu, on that note, Arch on his live stream brought that poster up and asked people who hadn't watched the show, who do you think is the main character based on this poster? And literally, the main character was the last one they picked because he was shoved so far off to the side.
Even the two at the back, one of them's holding a sword and the other one just looks gorgeous. So,
So, I made the video about Hollywood's breaking up, and it is. And it's because of pretty much everybody in Hollywood votes for the same people who have contributed to their breakup. They continually voted in fucking Gavin Newsom, and
that's because they're spastic.
Karen Bass will win fucking re-election. Just take it to the bank. She will fucking win re-election, even though like Palisades completely burns down while she's in fucking Africa. They will vote her fucking back in. I promise you. But I heard from a couple of directors that directed Bad Boys 4, Adil and Bilal. They said it's worse than that. Georgia has dried up. No jobs there. Our crew was struggling over there. Studios moved their operations to London. Also, Hawaii is over. It is a nationwide issue. And the thing is, everybody is overpriced in the U.S. For the exact same gear, you pay 5 times more in the U.S. And this is gear. It's also labor. What they didn't mention is labor. Like labor, the labor still costs you too much because of fucking unions. And I don't know how much more. This is why John Wick is barely shot in the U.S. And if we got to shoot in somewhere other than the U.S., Bad Boys 4 would have probably had more action scenes in it. Although I like the movie, I thought it was pretty good. But
more action would have been better.
But yeah, they couldn't because of the budget. And Sony is like really, really tight with their budgets. But it's a horrible situation, and you just hate to see it. Yeah. You just hate to see it. Now AI is coming on strong.
There's
don't start, Shad. I just said AI doesn't mean you need to go on a fucking 20-minute screed about fucking AI.
New stuff.
It's horrible. It's a horrible.
It will be a fun. It will be a fun
AI
tool.
Could have fixed that fucking Jurassic Park poster.
Probably, but
is there an element of when people see Hollywood coming, they think, well, they've got loads of money, so they just increase the prices?
Yes. So that's
it's the same as dealing with
the Jim Agnew talked about that in the Film Threat interview, which I highly recommend you go see. He was talking about how people in LA specifically are really savvy. So if we do a shoot in a bar, some guy next door who owns a store will go, who will say, you're messing up my sidewalk, man. I need $1,200. You know, like that happens all the time. And then the union comes in and dictates what you need to do. And the corporation has rules too. And then the state has rules, and the city has rules, and the county has rules. But you're on an independent film and you're spending $100,000 on like a $200 or a $2 million film. That's a lot of fucking money that goes to
Gorilla.
Well, pretty much. Yeah, and that's what you can do in other states, not as much, but you can do that in Europe. But it's going to be a bait and switch. Like eventually Europe's going to draw everybody over there and then fucking raise up. That's what happens every time, and that's why
especially
they
shift. The UK. If you want low regulation, I don't know why you're coming here. They will screw you for every penny they can.
How pathetic is California as they're getting out-regulated by the fucking UK? Exactly. Or they're out-regulating the UK. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. But that's the state of affairs. And poor old Tom Cruise out there is like trying to single-handedly save everything, and he can't. And he can't because the new poster child for woke Hollywood is no longer Rachel Zegler. It is Pedro Pascal. He has taken the tiara, and he's licked it. He's licked it
and shoved it up his ass.
And to be fair, he is more feminine than Rachel Zegler.
He is.
Probably more
Probably
dresses
sucked a
in
lot
his
more
life.
dick than Rachel Zegler too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's
I
true.
say about it.
That's
I
true.
truly fucking hate this motherfucker, dude. I really fucking hate Pedro Pascal, dude. I despise this dude, straight up.
He's such a bellend.
He's
like the kid at school that just went, "Hey guys, can everyone just like get on?" And then you just beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy in the Gillette ad, you know, where the guy's checking out the chick, and he's like,
No,
"Bro,
dude, no.
He's like,
let's not
Dude,
talk.
get
Let's
your
not.
arm down.
Yeah, let's not
There
hit
might
on the
be some
women, okay?"
heterosexuality here, dude. Can you stop that?
Right. Oh, do you want? What's that?
Do you hear we talk about?
It's audition.
I just want to be on the
Oh,
right
gotcha.
side of history.
Mhm.
Oh,
Fuck you.
dude, I know. Shut the
What
fuck
a-
up.
What a piss pot.
And while he's like, I just want to be on the right side of history, and I want everybody to be really safe
Making
and
himself
feel
small.
comfortable, and like, shut
Life
the fuck
isn't
up.
safe. Shut the fuck up.
Come round to my house, mate. I'll make you feel uncomfortable.
It's probably a thing.
Very.
though.
Right after his cast
Very.
member in that movie said, it's always hard when you're the only black cast member on it. Hard?
Yeah.
That's a hard? Shut up.
While you're at the
Why
can
up?
fill, you're sitting there in
It's hard if you're
fucking
a racist,
France.
if you like
That
that.
motherfucker
What?
sitting
You're
there in
getting
fucking
paid
France,
millions.
snorting a bunch of coke with a bunch of French people,
Shut
talking
up.
about how fucking hard life is. Shut the fuck up. So Wheel of Time got canceled last week, and Disparu and Chad were very happy. All the Rings
Total
of Power
victory. Wheel of Time and Jennifer Salke both left the
both
company.
gone. Oh, and we all know, like 2 years from this time, Rings of Power is going to be fucking
Yes.
canceled. Take it to the fucking bank. It's done. It is cooked. So things
Can't wait
are
to see their
changing.
future careers.
I don't know
after
how
this
it's
as well.
still going. I don't know how it's still going at this point.
They
Well,
already
haven't they signed on and they've already
they signed on and started production. I think if they had
what it
fired, well, Salke got fired over James Bond, but also the other stuff. James Bond was just kind of the final fucking straw because, as Disparu has pointed out, she is known as a star fucker in the industry and not really good at business. And her
Look,
background
the
was
articles also pointed out that she had her green light privileges removed like a year before she got fired.
Uh-huh.
So they hadn't trusted her
Damn.
for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd heard word from the Wheel of Time people that after the first season, they were pretty much told it's done. You're done. You got a couple more seasons, and that's all you've got. And then after the second season, they were essentially told,
Why didn't they
It's
do
over.
that? For Rings.
Oh, they
Cancel
are.
it.
Like Rings has followed the footsteps of Wheel of Time in every aspect. So I just think this will be the final step. And
How many
matter of
seasons did Wheel of Time get? 3?
three.
Three.
And
Okay, yeah, right. So basically, they'll get 3, and that's it.
yeah, and then they'll try and redo the narrative that it was always a plan for 3
Yes.
seasons.
Even though they said it was. gonna
We
be
signed
5.
it for
Yeah.
5, but we always planned to do 3.
Oh, of course.
It even matches it in the renewal periods that after each season it gets longer and longer before it goes getting renewed. So it started getting renewed before the season released, and then it was like, well, we'll wait till afterwards, and then the months go by. It's like, we'll do another one.
There's another show that's going to get canceled, and a show that's so bad Disney doesn't want it anymore. That's how bad it is. It's Doctor Who.
Jeez. I guess.
So it had a little pop in the ratings when it was sandwiched between a little soccer game and some gay Eurovision thing.
Britain work isn't intended.
As
it
pointed
was
out,
okay, Cutie Gatwa didn't want to be
yeah,
associated with it.
well, because of Israel, yeah. What's funny is, as pointed this out, it popped the ratings to the 15th lowest viewed episode of the history of the show.
Wow.
But every episode of Shooty Gatwa's fucking series has been the lowest rated series of the show. So this thing's fucking dead. So BBC Radio, Star Hoovian got this clip. I felt so retarded because I just saw the picture.
I know.
And I
I saw your comments. It's like,
You have a clip. It's
I
in
did.
the
I thought it was
clip.
just a picture. I'm fucking retarded. So I thought it was just a picture. And he's all, dude, it's literally there, you dipshit. Guilty as charged, retard. Okay.
there it is.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, look at least give me my response. At least show my response to him.
That's
me am retarded.
Jesus Christ.
Good for you not deleting it.
It did look like a picture, though. It did.
Oh, thanks, Jeremy.
No, I saw your response. I saw your response. So,
Yeah.
us high school, us failed high school people got to stick together.
We got to stick together, brother. Hail my illiterates. But this is BBC Radio talking about BBC's Doctor Who.
That in terms of like how many people are watching and what Doctor Who represents now, I've had a really interesting text. This is from Andy, who says, I'm a guy who considers himself of the left. Most of my friends are women, some are trans, some are gay. But even I cringe watching an episode of Doctor Who.
Seriously. I love that the quantifier for being a leftist is I have women friends.
That's like I have black friends.
And gay.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
It's very on brand for a leftist.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Very
I'm
on
a male
brand. I have to qualify everything before I talk to any of these people. Shit.
It's like, please don't call me a bigot. It's like, please.
Yes, I
have a black friend.
I'm white, but the good kind.
But it is telling when someone like that.
Oh yeah,
what they're about to say.
Yeah,
about
yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But all I'm saying is I
Rewind it a
believe
little
them when they say they're a lefty.
Yeah.
But even I cringe watching an episode of Doctor Who. It's no longer a family show about space and time travel. It's literally a bunch of memes telling us that white straight men are the source of all evil in the universe. It's aimed at 12-year-old
and to that
girls,
point,
but what
it's not just not a family show. The last episode
Yes.
had, in Russell T Davies' own words,
Yes.
the perfect, most happy family of all time. It was traditional English culture, and he said, and when I say traditional, I mean it's wrong. It's bordering on wrong. Like, normal families, husband, wife, child, wearing suits, going to work is wrong.
Is
Like,
wrong.
morally
No,
objective.
Disparu is not underselling that. That's exactly what he
No,
said.
that was his quote.
And that was his quote, and that's what comes across in the TV show. It's a direct response
ridiculous.
to fan criticism. This entire season, each episode has some response to fan criticism. It's crazy.
And you know when he
Cutie
says
Cutie
when he
described
says
English
ro-
culture as sterilized and stifled. And it's
well,
like,
go back
this
home
is the
then.
culture that you're
Go
representing.
to
Yeah.
Wakanda, Nigeria. I mean, like,
and
The
when he
safest
says
place
when
on
he
the planet.
oh, I'm
when
from
he says that it's wrong,
for him.
right? Like what is actually meaning when he says that it's wrong is he thinks it's evil. That
Yes.
traditional wholesome
Yeah.
values
Ugh.
he
Yes.
sees as evil, which is actually one of the most evil perspectives you could have. Like traditional wholesome, like it reminds me of the outcry about that McDonald's ad, which just had a family, a husband and a wife and a daughter eating, and there's outcry because these people hate traditional values.
The irony behind it, Shad, is these two men exist because of that traditional marriage. I would assume.
No, the stork brought them in.
Right.
the
test tube.
The gay stork, of course.
The gay stork, yeah, fair enough.
There was also a bit that I didn't put in my video where Cutie says the reason why he breaks out of Wish World is because there was an animalistic brightness inside him that broke out. Essentially, he was so gay, he broke a god's power.
I believe that. I actually believe that.
When Rogue appeared on the screen, like a brightness exploded from him.
And just remember, and there's no agenda of Hollywood or these shows trying to subvert traditional values and attack straight people or straight
except
white men.
when Disparu, remember the other Jinx Monsoon quote, not the one where it said for every one viewer they lost they would gain 4 or 5. It was the one saying, oh, every time the conservatives call out what we do in our show, we're going to go harder on it.
Gary, can I speak for
If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book.
Can I just say for Disparu me, please? I saw that you tried to lure us both into a trap in that where you referred to Jinx Monsoon as an it. As you well and truly know, a law has been passed in our country, and we must actually refer to Jinx Monsoon as they are, which is a man.
Which is a man.
Wouldn't want to break the Supreme Court's law.
I do not want to get into trouble by the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Good for you.
Jinx Monsoon is a man.
Yeah. Thanks, J.K. Rowling.
at 12-year-old girls, but watched by a declining number of people over the age of 40. If Doctor Who is dying, it's because the BBC has killed it. Mm-hmm. Yes, there were always stories that had messages or storylines about the environment or the misuse of power or intolerance. But now it has just become an intolerant program condemning most of its viewers simply for existing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's interesting because when I watched this.
Hold up. Star Trek, Star Wars. Like, you could just paste
go down the list. Go down the fucking list.
Hiling?
Yes, yes, he is.
We can stop him.
20 minutes. It was just kind of randomly on. I was pottering around. It was on. I didn't feel as strongly as Andy feels, but I did notice like the diversity of the characters, and I was just like, okay, so this one's this person, this one's this person, this one's this person.
Yeah,
fine, but I can see why Andy is saying what he's saying.
Sometimes it does feel like you're being lectured to. I think it really depends. I think
to that point. If you are an English villain in the show, you will be murdered and you will laugh, or he'll torture you and electrocute you, or suck up a hoover. Whereas if you're from Nigeria and you're a god that wanted to destroy the universe and every human in existence, well, then you just get given a barbershop.
You get given a barbershop, literally. Yeah, but if you're a white podcaster or a white dude with horns, or the incel AI Al. Who was proven in I had to watch that goddamn episode. So it was proven in that episode, Disparu, that he was kind of innocent. Like once he connected with the AI, he wasn't in control of because he enslaved a bunch of diverse people with robots, which is what all AIs are going to do, by the way. And he still, like, when he gets reduced to sperm, he gets fucking cleaned up, and the doctor goes, "There he goes, bye, motherfucker."
He's dead. It's fine. It's no big deal. No loss.
I still think the last episode was the worst because it was just a normal, civilized, traditional English society, and it was deemed as a hell world.
It was.
It was a completely evil.
What was the resistance, Disparu? The resistance was a bunch of crippled trans people.
Yeah, who Russell T Davies himself has been like, I've always associated disability with evil. I'm like, hey,
hey.
You guys are making this sound interesting.
The last episode is one of the funniest reviews I've ever done. Yeah, it got constantly more based.
Well, they tried to make
there was even a sign where she's like, "What should I do with this?" And she's like, "Make him a sandwich." I'm like, "Oh, congratulations!
We're on the right track."
We're on the right. No, when they tried to make the evil podcaster even more evil by being a tax dodger, I'm like, based. I love this guy.
Serious question: what does Russell T Davies believe to be traditional then?
It was just English culture. So everyone was walking around in a suit, bowler hats. They had umbrellas. Everyone was going to work. It was a utopia. There was no crime. Everyone was happy. Everyone was married with kids. He described them as the happiest family that's ever lived. That was the horrific.
The only thing that was tough to buy was Shudigawa being a straight guy married to a woman with a baby.
Yeah. It was no wonder he broke out of that spell.
There was no spell for the viewer. So my suspension of disbelief, which is usually pretty good, broke in the pieces, but rewinded a little bit and
lectured to. I think it really depends. Depending on, who you are and kind of how much involved and how invested you are in this episode.
How does Doctor Who the people over 40 still watching it and still wanting to relate to it in the same way? Like, you can't.
Or enjoy
they
it.
Can't.
Just enjoy it and have that nostalgia. Maybe that's what Andy is saying. He feels alienated from even having that experience.
Yeah. But in the bits I have seen, I do kind of agree with him, because sometimes it does feel like you are being lectured to. I think in the few times we've had to watch it for must watch, because I never watch it by choice.
Boom! And a reminder, this is BBC Radio. This is BBC Radio. So, this show's fucking, it's done. They're going to say it paused forever. They're never going to officially announce it's being canceled. But
the rumors are that the BBC see it as such a massive IP that they want it to continue.
Okay. Well, they could want to continue it, but can they justify its existence?
Well, they don't need viewers for the budget, so they could reduce the budget down and keep it going just as basically propaganda. That is what the BBC is for.
And that's what it is.
I wanted to continue to have hair, but nature also had other ideas for itself.
Yeah, well, if you look at what they've actually done with the budget for these last couple of series, it's nothing. Like, okay, so you've got some CGI bone dinosaurs that weren't even part of the plot. You had a load of people ejected into space that then just got resurrected again. So you could cut all of these CGI scenes and just get back to what Doctor Who was, which was always a cheap production.
But the BBC, as we've seen before, you know, Red Dwarf, for example, one of the lowest budget shows that they had. It was literally painted military grey because it was cheap, and it was cotton buds and all that. Anyway, it's about character and writing. Yes. Well-made characters, good writing, and then the performers that can actually pull off these roles. Ncuti Gatwa can't pull off anything other than Ncuti Gatwa. Yeah. That's the only thing that he can pull off. We haven't had a Doctor that has personified the Doctor since Capaldi in 2016, 2017, when he left the show. And his goodbye speech, when you listen to it now, is the most prophetic thing imaginable, because he's telling you exactly what's happening or going to happen to the Doctors that come. They're going to be cruel and they're going to be cowardly. And Russell T. Davies is a coward, an utter coward that came back to destroy something that millions upon millions of people, not just in the UK, which there was, but worldwide, because this was a worldwide brand, loved, so that he could insert his mental, destructive, disgusting ideology, which doesn't represent regular people, doesn't represent the common person in the slightest, in a privileged position where he's granted money not only through the license fee, which is forced upon people, but £100 million given by Disney to espouse it. And he's the one that wants to lecture us.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But you're talking about how essentially they could get back to good television. I think the BBC agrees with everything Russell T. Davies has done.
100%.
I agree with you.
They will just be like, how can we keep this message going? And if that's, like, because they don't have to care about the viewers, they just lower the budget. And it's like, well, we've got this amount of money to spend. We're going to spend it, and we'll just cut off this.
And they still believe that they know better than the masses, than the plebs.
It's like vegetables. It's vegetables in your thing. You have to consume them whether you like it or not.
With propaganda, though, don't you need viewers? Because if there's nobody viewing your propaganda, it doesn't mean anything. You need viewers.
If they still think they can have 2 million people watching, it'll go under fucking 1 million if they go back. It'll be pathetic. But we have to move on.
They'll come up with all the other reasons. Oh, well, people are watching on iPlayer, or everyone's splitting up and they're watching YouTube. It's not our fault.
Yep.
This is the best we can do.
They always do that. All right. Before Jeremy goes, rest in peace, Loretta Swit from MASH. Hot Lips has passed away.
Wow, really?
Yeah. 87 years old. Good long life.
Damn.
Yeah.
But Loretta Swift has passed. Jeremy has to pass.
Yeah, I still might have 2 more live streams today, so we'll see. I don't know. Battlefront is back, so I've been playing Battlefront. Ryan, I need you on Battlefront. I know you want to play. I know you want to play Battlefront too. Come on. So
you just want to play because you saw Ray's ass.
I mean, I played it last night, and that was before I saw Ray's ass. But yeah, anyway, Cobra Cast tonight, Battlefront probably, sleep at some point. But hail Friday Night Tights. I'll see you guys later.
Hail. Thanks, Jeremy.
Peace, man.
Probably should have mentioned this in the beginning of the show. God, if only I had people to remind me. There's no Rumble Hour.
Post-it notes.
I know. You know what? I put them somewhere, and I don't know where the fuck they are. I need a
send post-it note.
Post-it note to
everyone send at least one post-it note.
Oh God, don't. I'll find them. Yeah, no Rumble Hour today because I have to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to Fan Expo tomorrow in Dallas. I'll be there with the Rippaverse at the table from 2 to 5. I think Black Lives Matter X-Ray Girl. I think there's a panel. I'm not sure when, but
we had one, and we didn't have one, and we might have another one.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you sold that brilliantly.
Thank you. Well, I don't know. So
that's on the organization that's running this.
Yes. So I'll see you at Fan Expo tomorrow. tomorrow. I got to get up at a horrible time for a YouTuber. A god awful time for you, right? Right, Shad?
Just
right, Shad. But we're going to get to Soups now. Yeah. And the final episode of Doctor Who is tomorrow, and they're probably going to double down on the timeless child. There's a little black daughter, so it's either going to be Susan's mom. Nobody knows or cares. But I think it might be the timeless child. But who knows? I could be wrong.
No, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Hot Dog 990 is gifted 10 Rumble subscriptions for $50. Thank you very much. Thank you. Rolling the Wretched on the Streamlabs side. 4 parts for $100. Yes. In case you were wondering, Steve Rogers is Captain America. Sam Wilson is Black Falcon. Still triggers. Fantastic Mandalorian. Last of Us reshoots include Shalabal taking a 9-iron to Reed Richards. Can't wait for Marvel to go 0-5 between shows and movies. Well, you got to count like Deadpool and Wolverine, but as far as like non-Fox properties, core Marvel properties, they haven't done well. And Chris pointed it out today on Film Threat. The last 2 movies and the next one, all directed by TV directors. TV directors, not film directors. Ryan, I have information about attractions at Desertland, Dubai. There is the Rainbow Tower of Terror. Any Alphabet Mafia in this in line gets a fast pass to the top, and then on one drop. There is an interactive Pride Parade. Pride is just around the corner, by the way, where the crowd throws rocks at the paraders. All right, that sounds fun. Abu Dhabi Disneyland, go. I don't know why EA Sports is calling Failguard a failure. Just ask Ian how much he loves playing on his live stream tonight. His favorite companion is Tash, of course.
Oh, go fuck yourself, Roland.
Ian loves this game as much as I love watching Gary trying to open a door for an hour. It wasn't an hour. Okay.
I still laugh at the fact that I just clicked on that stream randomly, and it was that exact moment when you could at the door.
There's no handle on it. I didn't know it. Like, I'm looking for a handle.
It's a glowing key with sparkly things above.
I couldn't find it.
I literally was on the table in front of you.
I know, and I had to like look it up like real quick. I'm like looking it up on YouTube, and some 10-year-old's like telling me where the fucking key is or something.
I'm surprised somebody named. Look, there's usually you could find a tutorial for anything. I'm surprised that was there.
Yeah.
How do I get out of the very first
How do I get out of the tutorial?
50-hour game.
Okay, so
you
this
have
is
to say,
people
like,
who are
press
really
X to
retarded in
interact.
video games. The key's located on the desk right over here.
And it glows, and it's got an aura around it, and I still missed it.
It's got yellow paint all over it.
I still think I outdid that by setting my own horse on fire because I couldn't find a goat for 2 hours. So.
Oh, my favorite moment is when you rode off a cliff because your camera was pointing behind you. And you just kept going forwards.
Yep. When I play Jailguard, I'll randomly commit suicide.
Gary, you've got to do more live streams. Man.
I will.
Yes.
I will. I will.
Hey,
Today,
do you want to jump onto the Elden Ring with Eric and I? Gary's our third.
That would be amazing.
Oh my God! Please. If he didn't have to wake up tomorrow,
That game would probably be way too difficult for Gary.
Oh, 100%.
No, it's
What
easy.
Are you
It's super
talking about
easy.
comics?
I have to
Super
drive
easy.
5 hours to fucking Dallas
There's
tomorrow.
no doors.
True.
Today's read, Psalm 90:12. Teach us to number our days that we may gain retardation. Hail FNQ, Fellowship Chat, Mods, Little Baby Thor, rest in peace, Pizza Time Pizza. Rumor is Don Vosk started Man Buns Are Gay. He did. Well, it's kind of started. He finished, I think he's finished up Eric's song. So, which I may or may not have heard. Well, it will be done before Doomsday? Maybe. I don't know. Until next time, so long, gay boys!
See you tonight, Roland.
See you tonight. Noons is gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Noons! My lady. And Rhino Helix is gifted 20 Rumble subscriptions for $100. Cheers. Ryan. Not Kinnell. For 50 euros says, didn't George R. Martin gesture Dan and Dave towards the broad strokes of the ending? Yes, he did. Isn't that how we ended up with season 8? Yes, it was. If that's the case, what's the issue? Hand it over to Joe Abercrombie to finish if you can't. He can hand it over to a lot of people. And the issue is he doesn't know the broad strokes to his ending. He changes it all the time. Ryan talked about it. Like, I don't know in what I think he writes a character at a time, Ryan. So because he says, like, I finished the Tyrion chapters and da-da.
Some characters are way easier for him to write than others. Like Tyrion apparently has always been one of the easiest characters for him to write. But there's some POV characters he really struggles with, which makes sense. Bran is a character that he really struggles to write. And I think a big part of that is writing from the perspective of like a 10-year-old boy and how they would view things in the world and shit like that. Not to mention all of the massive implications behind anything related to Bran, like in the grander scheme of things. But yeah, I do think he tends to write that way sometimes, which as a result means you have to, when you write anything else, oftentimes you have to go back and revisit that stuff to make sure it matches up and makes sense.
Mm. The Bran chapters are so fucking good. There's not many of them, but they're all bangers. They're all really fucking good. And then if you just lay in the fact that the children of the forest are probably evil and probably using him that's to get back at mankind. Although, you know, we'll find out what the others are eventually. They're definitely connected to the werewood trees for sure. But they're all dudes. And most of the children of the forest are women. Not all. Some of the dead ones are down there are dudes, but they're all women. So were they the same race?
You think that they're all just like, is it just as simple as they're all connected to the the red priestesses and all the people there? Like you have Valor, and then you have the god that shall not be named, that you'll never name it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Is it just that simple that they're connected to that god specifically?
The old gods, which maybe it might be, but then there's the faceless men god, you know, and there's certain gods that are the one religion that's not true is
the seven.
The seven. That's the only one that's not true. But you know, the toad that they worship and the little fucking goat boy or whatever. I can't remember what it is.
Well, there's just like a lot of truly it does seem like the whatever the dark god is that is not supposed to be named is like the antithesis of Valor, right? When you're talking about light and fire and sun, many references to sun associated with that, whereas opposed to moon, like moonlight, darkness, that fucking evil shit. But I mean, it's not like anybody who's doing things for Valor, they're not the best people necessarily.
No, they're horrible. They're horrible. Yeah. And an argument can be made that the Great Other is less evil than R'hllor.
Yeah, like
argument.
R'hllor is, I don't know. It just that's what it feels like they talk about,
dude,
especially when Melisandre
they burn people alive to get a gust of wind.
The nameless god.
Yeah. And
but
it works. So
because we still don't have a name for that god, right?
No.
It's just the fire priestess, everybody, they always just refer to it like the one that'll never be spoken. Whatever that fucking means.
Yep.
Voldemort.
I think the drown god even talks about that too. The Great Other. But no, it's the storm god that they're against. The drown god is against the storm god. Richard,
there's a lot of freaking gods.
There's a lot of gods, and most of them are fake, but R'hllor is definitely real. It's blood magic, a lot of it.
Well, at least we know that has power. Like we have seen it, that it has power of some sort.
Yeah. Anybody saying that, I know there's some people out there who say there's no magic in Game of Thrones. A fucking shadow baby came out of Melisandre's vag. Okay, there's magic.
Yeah, there's something.
Yeah.
They use leech or blood from leeches to fucking essentially, and maybe it's just coincidence, but is 3 really coincidence?
No.
When you have the 3 that were named by Stannis die like that, I don't know.
Richard Swinburne, which is Me Love You Long Time, has donated 119.99 euros. Thank you very much, Richard. I gotta do this in Tardo voice. Eric Schiedlo and Tartar Voice for $59.99. Hey, Felonship. The Felonship. Son of Tardo back, want horror. Me got Lionsgate do movie The Long Walk. Son of Tardo say show trailer now on Son of Tardo. Come home and poo on porch. Me eat Ryan meal. So me ready. Me ready. God damn it, I'm retarded. Hello, Fellowship 199 chat. Lock it in. Yay.
Well, to be fair, Gary, it kind of worked with what you were reading.
It did. It did, but I made it more retarded somehow. Somehow I made it more retarded. Kratos El Gredos on the Streamlabs side for 50. Here's a shout out to Drew Outstanding. Hey, shout out to you. New show, Let's Get Physical Media, on his Physical Media Warriors channel that I co-hosted. Check out the first episode from last night where we showed off and discussed Memorial Day themed movies. I love it. Ooh, I got some physical media. Hang on. Good shit. I got good shit. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow on 4K. Fucking love this movie. And the entire season of Mission Impossible, the show.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God.
Where Mr. Phelps is a good guy, you know?
I want to rewatch that. I want to go back and rewatch that, man.
I was talking about last week. I'm like, I haven't watched it in years. I want to rewatch it. I fucking love that show as a kid.
Good morning, Mr. Phelps.
Yes.
Your mission. And he'd go ahead and pick the agents that would be on the team, and that would be based on what they could do.
Dude,
and then, recurring characters.
I'd watch Mission Impossible, The Avengers, and Get Smart like over and over again. That's all.
Get Smart is fantastic.
Get Smart is so good. Mel Brooks was behind Get Smart. Mikey Gussler, 4 parts for $80. Mikey, what's up, brother? Listening to Open Bar yesterday, but I had to turn it off because Mark Miller was pissing me off. Oh, Mark's a good dude. Comparing this new Superman film to Lord of the Rings was insane, and saying any film over 2 hours is bad is just wrong. I think most films should be 2 hours. There are exceptions, though, Mikey. There are definitely, including those extended versions.
The Irishman.
Long. Mikey Gussler, the second part is the whole argument about, well, films are just 2 hours or under will always make more money because they have more time slots is wrong. Many of those 2 hour films have bombed, and many 3 hour film. What the hell was it?
It's as a dog having sex with a squeaky toy.
Oh no! Is he? Oh, he's going at it.
He's going at it. He's giving it
all. No, he's back.
Something's getting violated. Oh, yeah. Oh, my.
Stop it, Az. Mute.
Oh no.
He's not chewing it, is he?
That's Az's
That does not sound consensual.
He's raping Az's plushie right now. Okay.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Not during the Mikey. So many 2 hour films have bombed, and many 3 hour films have made a ton of money. And Mark Miller's is really saying this Superman will do well because it's going back to old comics, just like how Lord of the Rings films took the illustrations from the 70s, and it was successful because of that. It was a little more than that. But I'm sorry, Gary. I respect Mark Miller and his work, and he seems to be a cool dude. He is. But, man, his statements just made my head explode. I was driving home listening to it, and I was laughing and yelling out loud at the same time. We do that a lot. Mark was talking about basically the feel of Lord of the Rings and what they grounded, because what Peter Jackson put on Lord of the Rings and the way it looks and that we all love is not Tolkien's vision of it. It is just not. It's dirtier and grimier than Tolkien's vision of it was. Even Christopher said, Christopher famously hated the movies, all right, because Tolkien's fantasy is supposed to be more romantic, right? And they grounded it. They put in a lot of battles and shit was dirty and stuff, and that's just not how Tolkien truly envisioned it.
You can see a lot of the vision in the calendars.
But the spirit, yeah.
They're really great,
I mean,
too.
Alan Lee's shit is fucking amazing. It's like all the art, and that's they were leaning into that. Sure, but comparing it, I think I don't want to speak for Mark. They are definitely leaning into, and Mark did mention this, the prime of Superman, which was 50s and 60s, which Silver Age Superman, which was him fighting giant monsters and it was goofy. It was really fucking goofy, and it's gonna make comic book fans happy. Like my favorite era of Superman is probably the 90s. I fucking love 90s Superman when Dan Jurgens was there. It's like was great shit.
Jerry Oldwell.
And I think they're leaning into a little bit of that too. And it's going to be very comic book. And I don't know how that's going to play with everyone. I don't. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with him fighting kaiju monsters. I'm fine with that shit. But we'll see. We will see.
I'd be okay with that if the kaiju monster looked cool. But when it looks literally like a derp.
It looks like the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, one of the monsters from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And there was a very distinct design that wasn't aesthetically the best. Okay. John Murdoch for 50. But Mikey, thank you, by the way. Mikey, we love you. I don't think he's going to like Superman's James Gunn. I might be going out on a limb.
Probably not.
I don't think he's going to like it, but maybe he does. Your friendly neighborhood D-Day Cobra simp. Hi, Jeremy. Oh, shit. Sorry, he's left. You are gay.
You are gay.
You are gay, but that's okay. So is Jeremy. Steve-O for $49.99. Doesn't say anything. Just dropped $49.99. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Aruka Fire. It's a rant for Fitty. Constantine 2 is delayed. Oh, no. I was actually kind of looking for, I love that Constantine. I walked into that, guys. I've told the story before. I was like, I'm going to fucking hate this movie. I got free passes through the comic store. I'm like, fuck this. Keanu Reeves doesn't look like Constantine at all. This movie's going to suck shit. And we all walked out of it going, that was really fucking cool.
The world building, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Everything about that movie is so good.
The last rumor that I think came out was that Keanu is bored with the script because it had too many action scenes.
Is
his knees? We're thinking.
Is Akiva Goldsman writing it? Because he wrote the first one back when I guess he could still write and have some supervision.
Interesting.
But he is the showrunner of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, by the way, which sucks shit. Yeah, that's a bummer. Peter Stormare interview was funny. He said that Keanu didn't like the action, then said he hopes that they don't do they don't Marvelize the movie.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, ouch.
That'd be bad.
Ouch. Don't Marvelize the movie. So much for Keanu Reeves playing Ghost Rider now. He's rumored to play, everybody's rumored to play Ghost Rider. Quarterback Garrett's rumored to play Ghost Rider.
You've revealed it.
Keanu might be badass.
And everybody's been on the set of Doomsday, including Adolf Hitler.
Yes.
Yeah. They resurrected him.
Yeah, and Elvis Presley.
From Argentina.
Thomas Levickius for $100. Thank you. Jeremy's gone. Hello, Jeremy. I've been waiting to talk to you on Facebook as you promised. Jeremy ain't talking to anybody on Facebook. I wanted to talk to you about the $749 apartment in Gainesville, Florida. I purchased our temporary Geeks and Gamers property. Please respond. Please respond. Yeah, another content house. That's what you guys need.
Smart.
Yeah. Wait, how much? $400 a month?
$749 a month apartment.
Fuck, I might move up there. Shit.
Yeah. Gainesville? That's pretty good rent for nowadays, even for Gainesville.
It's about an hour north of Orlando.
Do you know what my rent was at the store, Ryan, for the entire 10 years in San Francisco? $1,000 a month.
Wow, that's fucking cheap.
Wow.
It started in the 90s.
It started in 2003. And it was the landlord, really cool guy, was a hairdresser from the 50s, straight guy. So, you know.
What's his name, Mel?
No. No. His name was John. He was in retirement. He bought a bunch of properties after he sold his salon back when you could still buy property. and he was the coolest fucking landlord alive, would always fix the shit, never charge people too much. My store would have never been able to survive if they like the regular rent on that street, even back at that was like $4,000. $4,000. So like, yeah, there are still some cool. He passed away though. May he rest in peace. Love that guy, man. Love that guy. But yeah, $1,000 a month in San Francisco.
That's a unicorn.
That's a unicorn. And Brian Hibbs did not get that deal when he took over.
Good.
Because the kids had taken over by then. So, oh well. Comics are great though, guys. Comics are back. Everything's back. Diamond's being broken up, and Diamond Comics distributed. Did you hear about this, Az?
No, go on.
I think there's a deadline of May where if you don't get
well, they've got a couple of hours left.
No, they got a couple. Yeah, it was a deadline at end of this month. So vendors that they owe money to are just not getting paid, including like Dynamite Comics and all these like hundreds of thousands of dollars. But comics are great, guys. They're back.
Yeah, they're fine.
Batman and Deadpool is going to like bring everybody back forever. Chandler Baucom for $49.99. I've got a Song of Ice and Fire theory I'd like to bring up. I think Jon Snow is stuck in Ghost's body. Bran will reanimate him and become the knight he always wanted to be. Jon is stuck north of the wall, and Bran becomes king as the rightful heir through Jon. Ooh.
I
agree with half of it.
I agree with half of that. They set up Jon's. He tells you what's going to happen with Jon in the prologue with Vermeer Sixskins. He sets the whole thing up. So Jon's going to go into Ghost. Jon's body is going to go into an ice cell. I do not think Melisandre is going to bring him back. I think.
You think it's going to be Catelyn?
I think that would that would be poetic if Catelyn.
Yeah, it would be very poetic.
She's like giving birth to him. Yeah.
But Charisse is going to get burned, and that's going to have something to do with him coming back. But I don't think it's Melisandre who brings him back. I think Catelyn moves up north and gives him, and like he comes back kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
it's like
he is.
That is one thing that obviously was just done so fucking terribly in the show. Period. Was Jon Snow was not affected by his death or resurrection at all, in any way, shape, or form. He was the same old Jon. And that I can't imagine that that's going to be the case. He's going to be a different person when he comes back.
With Cold Hands and Catelyn and Beric Dondarrion, they all, especially Beric Dondarrion, they lay out that he's a fire white. So he's the same as the white in the north, but he's a fire white. And every time he gets brought back, he loses a bit of himself. He ain't in control. So, and there's the Jon is the Night King theory, which I love. That Jon becomes the Night King. Because the others had some kind of treaty, you know.
I like the idea of Jon becomes the Night's King.
Night's King, yeah.
Not the Night King,
Not the
like
Night
you know
King,
from the
yeah.
thing, but the Night's King, which apparently like what was like the 13th Lord Commander of the Watch, basically got married, fell in love and got married to
a female other,
a wildling, but who was really cold to the touch and had blue eyes. So basically,
she was dead.
You know, basically not.
It was
not
a necrophiliac.
Yeah, and then that was like the pact. They got married, and that was like the pact that they formed. So
and then the wildlings had to team up with the Starks. The wildlings had to team up with the Starks to take them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's also rumored that that was a Stark.
Yeah, it was.
At least according to Old Nan.
Old Nan. Whatever
Old
happened.
Nan knows everything, by the way.
I think she escaped. I don't think she's dead. I think Old Nan's. I think she's with Hal and Reed.
I think that Bloodraven has been warging Old Nan his entire life.
Maybe.
And I don't really think that, but these are the types of things
he did, though.
When you go 14 years between the last book, these are the things that come up.
Dude, the theories get crazy. Was it Alt Shift X did the iceberg theory for 7.5 hour live stream? Got millions of views. It's really good. It's really good. The Song of Ice and Fire theory iceberg.
All the shit that he and Glidus do is fucking great.
Yep.
Like they did like a 5-part stream just ranking food descriptions in a Song of Ice, because that's where we are, right? Because it's been so long between like ranking the food descriptions in a Song of Ice and Fire. throughout all 5 books.
George loves him some food because he describes like medieval food as the most delicious shit ever made. It's like, he gets into it's bathed in butter. These, what the hell? Illyrio's food that Tyrion was eating. It sounded fucking delicious, and it's shit I'd never eat. It's like, yeah.
When his mind wanders,
constantly dripping down like fat men's chins and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Gary, I saw this, so you have to now.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
No.
wow.
Gary booed you again.
I can hear Jeremy from here. Difficult, but not impossible. I'd be a terrible trans person. I really
Blood
would.
Raven definitely warging Jorah Mormont's Raven, though.
Well, 100%.
There's no doubt about that. Jorah Mormont.
Too Big for Life for $10 says, Gary, you're going to Fan Expo in Dallas. Yes, I am thinking about going. What do you all say to someone who has never gone to a convention before? Be ready for the smell.
Go.
Are there certain things to avoid? Any tips to get going? Well, get there early because parking sucks in downtown areas.
Don't avoid deodorant.
Don't avoid deodorant.
Bring cash.
Bring cash.
Lots of cash.
Yeah, because the internet's gonna suck.
Yeah.
The internet's gonna suck. They're gonna have a problem with cards and everything.
Yeah, and your phone isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
Or
But
bring
it'll
a
be
backup battery, like a spare battery for your phone.
But at Fan Expo,
water.
yeah, at Fan Expo, you'll get to see a lot of movie stars. I mean, you have to pay to get in line, but if you just want to see them, just walk down the autograph thing, and you'll see there's a lot of cool people going. So I forgot who's there this year, but
Bring a bag to carry stuff you buy in.
I think Matt Smith is going to be there. Didn't I see that? Is it Matt Smith going to be there?
Really? I never look at them.
Riley Hill for $9.99. Pedro being sued with an object of a certain shape at the rap party and getting his head caved in by a 90-pound girl will never be as embarrassing as him being in the Gal Gadot image video. Imagine video. Imagine.
Oh yeah.
Imagine video.
Oh, that was so cringe.
Was he in that?
I didn't know.
I think so.
Not watched it in a long time.
I feel like he'd be in it.
Yeah, I can't even bear to get through the first part. It's just like, I'm done.
He's coming out with 2 movies in July, and one of them's going to be Eddington. And I can't wait to see what Hollywood's take on COVID and misinformation is. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah. In MAGA country.
Well, they're going to blame the conservatives is what they're going to do.
The whole thing is about MAGA.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Like falling down a right-wing misinformation echo chamber thing.
Yep.
The projection is real.
Indeed.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. Gamer Crusader for 20 says, hey guys, hail FNT, hail 199. Meta IGN is doing a women in gaming thing on June 6th from 9:30 to 12. I am doing a Jesus Christ in gaming live stream at the same time to counter it on Rumble channel. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, God, maybe it's in my Twitter. Hang on. Chris covered it on.
While you're looking.
No, burn it.
Great job, Robbie.
Greatest I've ever looked.
I gotta get you the link. Hang on. Yeah, this is it. We don't.
Can I read Ryan Kinnell, Streamlabs?
Yep.
Okay. Ryan Kinnell for $10 says, so when 2 people have sex, it's called a twosome. And when 3 people have sex, it's called a threesome. Damn. Now I know why people call me handsome.
Handsome. Oh, that's funny. That's cute. That's great.
Thank you.
All right, so I got the link. At what point?
Go to Female Silver Surfer. We got a toy reveal from the action figures of the Fantastic Four.
Oh, it's not the Barbie Doctor.
It's not the Barbie Doctor. No, the other one. Go earlier on. Right there. No, you were right there.
Wow.
You're right there. Go.
So close, so close, almost there.
Stop. Right there.
Oh dear.
Awful.
It's the worst
Why?
pose imaginable.
That looks like 3D printed crap.
Oh,
It does.
dude.
It does.
Even man spreading.
Even man spreading.
Yeah.
Right to the camera.
It's like she's wearing one of those NASA diapers.
It does.
Yeah.
It's like a journey through space.
God, action figures are such
Toys I've seen,
shit now anyway, but like
Does the Silver Surfer piss? That's a good question.
no.
Hmm.
No.
Maybe like magnesium. That's a liquid.
Does the Silver Surfer eat?
Probably
no.
not
He's got a
then.
mouth, but he can't shit. I mean, he's encased in silver. His balls are encased in silver.
Little ball bearings.
Yeah.
Like an owl.
He just eats and purges.
And then he's bulimic.
Maybe it just maybe when he eats, it just the power cosmic just sucks everything in. So and he doesn't shit. Or maybe he has little silver turds floating around space. With the power cosmic.
Go up to
That's
that
what I
Urza
want to
Galactus
believe.
toy there. Did you see that?
What was that?
It's like towards the end or
It's Galactus stuff.
there's a
Yeah.
lot here.
No, you're past Fantastic
This
Four.
is-
Go
yeah, this
earlier.
is
Go earlier. A Silver Samurai.
What they really needed was a load of cats to like dance music while they're showing off the toys.
Yeah.
Maybe I
That
didn't
was
see a
such good
Galactus.
marketing.
Yeah, I don't-
I saw Thanos, but that was about it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Look at that face.
Oh.
Look at the face of the hero.
Looks so masculine.
Hey guys.
Look at like
Hey God.
I'm wearing a sweater.
Looks
Juggernaut.
Like a crop top.
there's Juggernaut, yeah.
It really does
Dude,
look
these
like him.
action figures suck now. They just do.
They do like the quality of the plastic just doesn't look very good.
Like,
It's
well,
so
Mezco, which cost a fortune. Chris showed it off. There's a Fantastic Four set for Mezco 1/12 scale. It's fucking
Yeah,
great.
I got it.
It
Yeah, I
is
got it.
great. It's also very
It
expensive.
comes in a beautiful collector tin.
Yep. Yep. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
On the Juggernaut beach.
That 1/6 scale Juggernaut's fucking awesome.
And I'm gonna rip your tit. Oh no, you did already.
This guy for 5 Canadian pesos says, wish these authors would do more for their fans. Question for the panel, which is longer? The wait for GRM or the finish of Ryan
Or the
or to the wait for GRM to finish his book or Ryan's forehead. That is mean.
Oh.
Well, at least mine fucking ends. Goes on for a while, but there is an end.
Left-handed raccoon for $20 says, I had CobraCast on at work earlier. My boss inquired what I was listening to and if it went against our company policy. I told him it was a homosexual man talking about Trump. So pretty sure I'm safe from here on out. You are.
Oh my God. I wonder what kind of place you work
I
at.
really do want to make a Trump body pillow for Jeremy. There's got to be a way to do that. There's got to be customized body pillows out there.
Yeah.
Just use AI, I'm sure.
I'm kind of afraid to Google that.
There you go. Most anticipated movie of the year, ladies and gentlemen.
$1 billion movie.
Jurassic Ass.
Jurassic.
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 Ass is literally in there, right there. ASS. There you go.
They should have had the dinosaur like staring at the ass with those eyes.
No wonder you want us to take a bite.
The dinosaur's on the way to chomp Daisy Ridley's booty. Like that's what's going on.
That's right.
Oh wait, here's a better one. Hold on.
It's closer, right?
Oh,
Hey!
It's got the
There we
important bits.
go.
There you go.
Indeed.
Keep it simple.
That's actually better than the poster. I'm not even kidding.
Like if
It
you
legit
just cut
does
out
look
Scarlett
better than-
Johansson from the poster, if you just like zoom in, like if you could open that up and zoom in on it, not that we don't like to see that, but if you just zoom in on it to get with the logo at the very top, like
just like that.
That's a perfectly fine poster. You know
But
what I
it's
mean?
better.
Like,
It's better. It's
if you could do that and see the people running away in the raft, like if that's it, like that's a perfectly fine poster to put out.
That looks like Land of the Lost.
I was gonna say that really does scream Land of the Lost.
Yeah, that's simple. It's like, it's enough.
That one
looks
guy.
like there's a big thick cock coming up from the top.
Oh my
Really?
God.
Why is that what you see?
Why would your mind go there, guys?
That is some.
That is.
Why would you see that
as you just told on yourself? What the hell?
All I see is
It's like a big ink blot.
I kind of think that the gateway should be passed as Jeremy.
That's some as pareidolia.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Oh,
You seeing it now? Okay.
if you go right before you see the unbeat.
Like right here.
Of course, this is what's on.
We're gonna get hit now.
Maybe don't say.
Yeah, maybe we should
things out loud.
Yeah.
Give him ideas.
I feel fully vindicated now.
That you notice
enthusiasm
that you know. Wait a minute.
Big thick. It's like, whoa.
You feel vindicated by pointing out the dick first. Thank you. Well done.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah. The one guy for $9.99 says, I'm all for Goofy being in the movie. A good father figure in the film can only help the box office. But
I get it.
It's a great film. It's a great film.
Goofy actually might be the smartest dog in the Mickey Mouse universe.
Avada Kedavra, mother effer.
Bitch.
That's I can't wait.
Axio Hennessy.
Axio watermelon.
Axio a question.
What's his dark mark gonna look like, Gary?
What was that?
What's his dark mark gonna look like?
Oh no!
Oh no! Can't tell.
When he pulls his sleeve up to show what the fuck is
Fudge?
Not fudge. Is it? No.
Karkaroff?
Yes.
Karkaroff. Yeah.
Yeah, Karkaroff and fudge as well. They're gonna go. No, I won't say it.
Where's the fudge coming from?
Shameless plug. I love you guys and I love the show. I missed most shows live due to work recently, but here's a little something to say. Thanks for always brightening my day from Sweaty Calves for $25. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully your calves dry up.
Thank you.
Hollywood's accountant for $4.99. Oh God.
It takes a little bit to.
Wow. He looks so happy. No. Looks like a big gray penis on the back.
No.
No.
Hollywood's accountant for $4.99. There's a rumor Hunter Schafer might play Zelda in the live action movie. Just don't know as just don't show as Hunter Schafer. Just don't show.
I've heard that's a false rumor, but it's fun to play with online.
Yeah,
yeah.
What Hunter Schafer looks like, his head might explode.
It looks like a dude.
It's kind of funny that you say that. You've ever been when evaluating that type of thing.
So yeah. I'm already in.
Wow. Okay.
Somebody said it. I think Jay said it today. If they do that, then they have to cast Elliot Page as Link.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Hunter Schafer as Zelda. Elliot Page as Link.
Oh my gosh. And 1,000 more YouTube channels were born.
Yeah. We're in the money.
Ian McKellen would probably direct
it. Garth Vader for 10 Canadian pesos. Hail all. Question for the panel. If you could have a Star Wars / Marvel / DC storyline made into a film or show and done right, which would it be? Spider-Man.
Done right?
Dark Empire.
Dark Empire for Star Wars. Ryan loves Dark
yeah.
Empire.
Yeah. I would go with God Man Loves Kills. God Loves Man Kills. There we go.
Can I say Harry Potter?
Yeah, either New Jedi Order or Legacy of the Force, one or the other.
Ooh.
Magic Mike.
I want Mulan done right.
I'd love a Wheel of Time done right, but I don't think we're ever going to get that anymore.
They said Star Wars, Marvel, or DC.
So. That was the thing, because if it could be anything, it'd be Deus Ex, but or Night Angel trilogy.
Seriously, though, I would for Star Wars I'd say that. But if I wanted a DC one doing spot on, that's a toughie because there's some good ones. But I reckon If they did Nightfall as a trilogy, Nightfall, Knight's Quest, Knight's End, that'd be good. That's a trilogy of films right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of storylines with Marvel that would need build-up, which they couldn't do. Like Kraven's Last Hunt. Seeing Kraven's Last Hunt would be fucking awesome.
You saw his what?
Kraven's Last Hunt.
Wow.
Was his name Mike?
Yes. Or Annihilation. Annihilation was fucking awesome.
At first, I thought you about like the movie Annihilation.
Yeah, that's what was happening.
No,
Annihilation is what the fucking dog's doing to the apartment.
Screaming for
Gary,
help.
I'm gonna have to drop Gary because that's.
All right.
Buy Saints and Sinners, people, please. Thank you. Promote it, Gary, or something. I don't know.
Promote? Is that my fucking job? you could have promoted it.
Links in the description. All right.
Links in the description. You could have. You got to remind me.
Clean up dog cum.
Oh, is that what's
Messy.
going on? That's messy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slowly flooding.
Yikes. Dio Brando for $19.99 proper British money. I knew Daisy Ridley had a great ass since she tried the scorpion kick in the throne room. Well, you knew before all of us. I thought she had no ass at all. Apparently, I was wrong. How old is that picture again, Ryan?
That's at least a year old or something.
Okay, it's not super old.
But like, no, there's plenty of shots of her from like years ago at like either award shows or shit like that, where she doesn't have much in the front, but she's got a lot in the back.
She makes up for it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? She makes up for it.
Yeah.
Mr.
Everyone just hates the character of Race so much that they sometimes can't see what's in front of their eyes, I can look past that.
It's a gift.
I don't know. I don't remember seeing any of that in the sequels.
Yeah. In Last Jedi,
Disney wants
instead of her doing this, she should have just slapped herself in the ass and just been like, slap, 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 slap.
Yeah. Chris Archie for 10 British pounds. I found your channel back in 2022 when I thought I was going crazy thinking the Rims of Power was garbage, despite some friends of mine praising it. Those are no longer my friends, and I'm here ever since. Well, you don't need friends like that. With that kind of bad judgment, I don't blame you. That should be kind of a litmus test of friendship. Do you like the Rings of Power? Definitely a marriage.
Yeah.
Fucking definitely a marriage. That's the first thing you ask. I don't know how you kids date nowadays. It's on your phone. It should be in your Grindr account or whatever you guys have. Whatever you guys use.
What's the tell?
There's a different kind of Rings of Power there after that.
You might get, if you mix up Rims of Power, you're going to get a lot of requests on Grindr.
There is a ring being destroyed, but it's not.
That would be a great porn.
Hail FNT, I'm so fucking happy. Wife just bought me tickets for both Metallica gigs in London. Oh, right on. How do I repay her, panel? Ladies, how would you like to be repaid?
Ooh.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
Oral. Wait.
Well, surprise, surprise. He does make a suggestion like
He
that.
does says, I will go down on her loads. But I feel like I owe her more. Thoughts?
I mean, I like massages.
Massages.
Like, yeah, or mani-pedi.
Mani-pedi. Yep.
Oh, food.
Mm.
Food or takeout for food.
Yeah.
Fucking get takeout. Like, isn't that something you do like half the nights of the week normally anyway? Like,
no, like no.
That's all you got? Ryan, here's what you do. You tell your wife.
Women are simple.
No,
creatures.
like they are. So listen to a dude on this one. You go to your wife, say, thanks for the tickets. I want to pay you back by you giving me a blowjob.
Like, I know how much you love them.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Am I right, guys? Every dude is agreeing with me right now.
That sounds like
I
a
feel like
a few minutes. It won't be too
I'll
bad,
let you.
I feel like I'm on the right side of history for this one. Okay.
Yeah, I just ask my wife for blowjobs. I just tell her. I don't ask her anymore.
Let us know how that works.
Because I just want them to know that they can do it anytime they want.
Mick the Flower Chick for $10. Disparu or as? Please settle an argument. What is an abattoir? Oh, an abattoir. Do they kill and butcher the animals there, or just kill them and send them to the butcher?
I believe they kill and butcher them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they kill them.
Because I mean, it's not really my area, but on Clarkson's farm, they
Clarkson's
deliver him sausages pre-done.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So in Clarkson's farm, when they send the sheep and the pigs, yeah, it's come back. It's ready to go. Like in there.
Yeah. I think
They do the
butchers
whole
get
thing
sent
with
big
biopsy.
chunks of meat, but even then, it will be cut up to some kind of degree.
Now in season 4, the abattoir has been shut down.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. They covered that in episode 2.
And they're priced out.
Well, it seemed like they got an even better deal though. They spent £100 for somebody else to do it for them. Like that seemed
Well, no, that was
wildly
just
cheap.
the delivery, wasn't it? To just get him on the truck. 'Cause it was
Yeah,
like
but
a-
even
a
so,
carpool
like for a truck to drive to you and transport all of your pigs, it's like not even £100 each. It was just in total, it seemed.
Probably got a deal for being famous.
Yeah, I
get a little shout out on the show.
I have a feeling you didn't have to pay to get all those tractors there to inspect.
No.
Individual salesmen on the same day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoever made the tractor that the girl was shouting out, they would have just pissed themselves because that was just a massive promotion.
Yep.
Jeremy Clarkson saying that.
I'm sure her TikTok is fucking blowing up now too.
Did you see that there's like there's a controversy about her being on the show because she replaced Caleb, and then Caleb came back, and there was like
He didn't get replaced. He was on
right. He wasn't.
No,
yeah,
no.
it was
People were pissed at Caleb.
At
for
Caleb.
his response when he came back. That's what people were angry at.
Yeah,
That
because he was
came
cold
across as
to
an
her.
asshole. Yeah.
But he did that to the guy that like wanted to drill his field last season. Like
he was
that's
clearly
just
told to.
Yeah,
It was-
Come on, guys.
It's a bit.
Getting him to
It's
lead
a
into
bit.
it. Yeah, but also, like, I wonder how Lamborghini is feeling with how much they crap on the old.
I know.
Now,
but he keeps buying them. It's like they're the ones that get
Dude,
the brand
they crap on it in a Grand Tour too. So it's not just his show. Yeah, James May crapped on it. It was pretty funny. How am I supposed to say this one?
2 more episodes of it as well.
Yeah.
Yes, you gay.
No, didn't the final 4 episodes drop?
No,
I was
2
looking on
episodes
Twitter.
today,
They just announced
and
there
then
was 2
2
more.
Yeah.
So they're doing 10?
Well,
I think-
no, I mean
well,
2
no.
more have been released now.
Oh, I thought they were okay.
Yeah.
So they're so they didn't release all 4. Okay. No. So they
Just
released
2.
4, 2, and 2. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Then I'll be able to catch up on the watch parties. Oh, yes, you gay. Yes, you gay. Yes.
Yes, queen.
Oh my God, yes, queen. For $20 says the labyrinth. The labyrinth didn't scare me, but David Bowie's Bold sure did. I wasn't focusing on that. That sounds another like. Thank you for the $20, but that sounds a little bit like a situation there. Just want to point out.
I must have watched like the Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal close together because both those movies, I think.
Oh, Dark Crystal, yeah.
Dark Crystal's
They stuck out the
crazy.
soul of that little guy, and he's like,
I fucking
messed
love
up.
Dark Crystal. One of the best. Trevor Jones soundtrack is one of the best soundtrack. The late Trevor Jones, one of the best soundtracks ever. That movie's fucking great. It's got a cool little 4K box set where you get the crystal in it.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I think it was just weird, freaky puppets that gave me the.
Dude, it was really
so
weird.
good.
But I did see Labyrinth like super high. So I, and then I later saw it like when I wasn't. And I'm like, eh. And I like David Bowie, huge David Bowie fan, but like, yeah.
I need to show my kids.
I love that film.
Yeah, gotta.
It's good, but it was way better loaded. I'm gonna be real with you.
Your eyes can be so cruel. So good.
Mobland, guys. Who's watching Mobland here?
Was that the last episode?
I've seen 1 episode.
There's one episode left.
One more. Okay.
One more.
I'm 1.5
I have no
in.
fucking idea what's gonna happen.
I don't know.
Dude, me neither.
I am lost, man. So
And I love it.
You know, there's a rat. We're not going to say who it is. There's a rat, and you think you find out who it is in 3 instances, and you're like, wait a minute, like I have no fucking clue, and I love it. I love being engaged in a show, and I'm like, it keeps you guessing, and I have no fucking idea how it's going to end, and I can't fucking wait.
It's really well done too. Great series.
I want to know where Eddie's going, because like there's some shit going on with Eddie, He's going to build up. And I think he's going to be taking over the family. Like they're really setting that up.
A civil war within the family.
Mahler mentioned this, and I agree. It's like this season is they're setting up the pieces just like Game of Thrones season 1.
Yeah.
So we'll see if everybody survives. Fucking Kevin, what he did that last episode was great.
Yeah.
That was great. Oh, I fucking loved it. But
Which
dude,
one's Kevin again? I get him mixed
the
up.
brother. That's Patty Considine.
Patty Considine.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
That's Kevin.
yeah.
And the question is like Conrad Harrigan, who's played by Pierce Brosnan, could be everybody's fucking dad. Like there's a possibility. Like he's fucking his son's wives, and like and Harry might be his son. You never know.
He did say in the episode that Harry's his son.
He calls him son a couple of times, but it's like, hey son.
But like legitimately his son's son. Like I think it's his son's son.
So I think it's implied that the way Harry got involved in this entire thing was he met Kevin in prison.
In prison.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
That's where they met, and that's how he became a part of the entire thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he's when he says son, I don't think he means it that way.
No, I don't think so either. But
Term of endearment.
you could. There's enough question.
So.
There's enough question there, at all. And
now Harry's daughter. Harry's daughter could be Conrad's.
Eddie,
for all we know.
Eddie.
Shit. Yeah.
I thought about that too.
His son instead of his grandson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Helen Mirren
Eddie is fucking great, dude.
Well, that Helen Mirren in that scene, she says, "Your brother,"
and he goes, "My brother's dead now," and he's like, and she's all,
the other one.
He's all, "Fuck you, mom."
Oh, it's so good.
It's so fucking good, and it's got great rewatch value, like brilliant rewatch value, because you catch a lot of stuff. There's a lot of foreshadowing going on, and Richie is fucking awesome. I fucking think he's just, and Toby Jones coming in at the end. It's got such a good cast. It's got a movie cast, and
it really does.
No, like legit, it does.
Heavy hitters.
Brightest Dave for $5 says, for the whole panel, without naming specific works, name 3 composers that encompass your favorite media. Jerry Goldsmith, John Williams, Vangelis, but it's Vangelis.
I don't know enough composers by name.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Like, come up with a list of something you've never thought about your entire life.
Like, to me, John Williams is the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Ennio
Morricone.
John Carpenter.
That's a good one.
John Carpenter's a great one. But John Williams is the greatest of all time when you look at the laundry list of things that he was involved with during this just incredible time for fucking Hollywood in the 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. Even stretching into freaking Harry Potter and shit like that.
Yep.
Even after some of these iconic things. To me, he's the best. Whenever I have a chance to hear any John Williams music live.
Azkaban soundtrack is
Howard Shore is
great.
a good one too.
Howard Shore. But I mean, he did like 3 movies, so Howard Shore. But like Jerry Goldsmith comes after John Williams. Just period. That guy goes all the way back to the fucking Twilight Zone. Like he was a legend.
I was gonna put Danny Elfman on your list.
I say Elfman would be up there.
That's a good one.
At least for nostalgia. For
Batman.
Me.
Yeah,
he was kind of like key for certain movies growing up. That like those themes stick with me.
What? I'm a huge fan of Danny Elfman. I fucking love Oingo Boingo, especially those first 3 albums. Watched him in concert a fucking countless times. What Danny Elfman misses is on occasion he gets there, okay, but what he mostly misses, he's got like really hyperactive music and it's really good, but he doesn't have like the emotional tug that like a John Williams has. He could set atmosphere really well, but he doesn't have an emotional, like John Williams music, what fucking Yoda is lifting up the X, like that is all John Williams. That is like, it's, he can do stuff like that Danny can't. But his themes are really fucking good.
I'd choose Jeremy Soule. He did Icewind Dale, Morrowind, Baldur's Gate, Dungeon Siege, Neverwinter Nights, Guild Wars, Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh shit!
Warhammer 40,000, Oblivion. This guy's made like all my favorite games.
Early Murray Gold. You know, till Stephen Moffat left Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Murray Gold was fucking awesome. Yeah.
And Jelso.
But the greatest soundtrack of all time is Blade Runner.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yes.
Mm-hmm. And remember, you couldn't get his version of the soundtrack forever, not until the 90s, due to some rights issues. And then they finally released it, and it became a bestseller. So
it's so good.
Ian So Forth has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50. Thank you, Ian So Forth. We appreciate it. Amy Curtis. And yes, Mobland finale watch party. Maybe Garrett will join me.
Hey. If I'm not making a video.
If you're not making a video.
I'll be making a video.
Yeah, we'll let you know about Forbidden Frontier. I gotta get oh god, there's a bunch of announcements I probably should have made this show. I'll make them next week again too. But yeah, I gotta get
notes.
Sticky notes. Yeah. We're
getting
a
crazy as Mobland was still like tied for the 26th most watched show of this year, and the period ended in like early April, which meant only a couple of those episodes. Mm-hmm. Mobland was still up there.
It didn't chart like it's built up. Its viewership is going up as time goes on, and it's killing it right now. And other people, the only people who don't seem to like it are Screen Rant.
Because it's Screen Rant.
Which should tell you to watch it. But yeah, I got to get a bunch of work done because I'm going to Vegas next week to be on the Hodge Twins.
Nice.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I got to go to Wisconsin.
I once painted one of the Hodge Twins' faces more black.
Did you?
Yes.
Did it work?
No. And also, the only way to tell the difference between each Hodge twin is one has a scar on their forehead that's vertical and one that is horizontal. And I don't know which one, but once you figure it out, that's how you tell.
I'm just going to call each of them the Hodge Twins, and I'm just not worry about it. Yeah.
Mr. Hodge.
Mr. Hodge Twins. But yeah, going to Vegas, and it'll be fun. I also recorded a podcast with Eli from Unsubscribed, the Say Hi to Eli, which will be out later this month, and it's kind of the real first one where we discuss the book. So, and I guess book announcement at the panel tomorrow.
Ooh, nice.
There's other announcements too, but I'll save them for next week. Des Roma for $4.99. I'm pretty sure Ryan's Vegas Uber driver is responsible for running over the zombie. I am too.
Bro, that stupid fucking whore. I hope
God damn it.
Died. I honestly do. I fucking hated her so much. I hope she lost a job and fucking ended her miserable life. Oh, that fucking pissed
That's
me
exactly how Ryan walked into the restaurant, and it was fucking hilarious. Like, everybody's there, and he's like, that fucking bitch. That deaf fucking retarded bitch. It's great.
Everybody had already eaten all their food.
Yep.
I get there super late. I fucking
I was
shove
late
my
too.
food in my mouth as fast as I can.
Amy Curtis for $9.99 says, Hail, wanted to say how proud I am of my son Charlie, who graduates high school this Sunday. On Sunday.
Already more accomplished than Gary.
Facts. Well done, Charlie. Had a rough couple of years, but he's overcome it, and he's a great young man. Oh, more applause for Charlie. Well done. Good mom. Way to take care of him. I guess my parents just let everybody down. No, they didn't. My parents were great. Ryan Kittle for $10. I treat women as sex objects. When I ask for sex, they object. Ryan Kittle for $10. My black buddy told me his secret to pleasing his woman was to whack his junk against the bedpost 3 times before sex. So I whacked mine before I went to bed, but my girlfriend just rolled over and asked, "Is that you, Ribba?" Oh, Ryan Kittle for $10. What's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean? I've never had a garbanzo bean on me. Oh man, you send the best super chats, Ryan. Thanks.
I know. I save them up all week,
and he does it with no hands.
Amazing.
Talented. Josh Kelsey for 20. That's all he doesn't say anything. That's what Josh does. He drops 20 and walks away. Thank you, Josh. Hail, brother. Griff Nizzle for 20 says, even more than the Marvels, even more than Captain African American, I actively want Fantastic Four to fail. I almost hate everything about this movie. They have done this should have been so fucking simple. And everybody's going to, I mean, like, you already had a better Reed Richards in Doctor Strange Mom. You did.
Yep. Easy.
And he's going to get compared to that. If people remember the movie, I think there's a possibility it could be a dud. I wasn't, like, female Silver Surfer was going to be a dud for me, for sure. Like, not getting over that. It's fucking retarded. And this is the one thing they could correct from the last, I hate it when they redo or they start out with the most classic story first, Shad. Like, you start out with, you start out with leading into Dark Phoenix within your first couple of movies or something like that. Starting out with the biggest story is fucking stupid. This is something you lead into. This is your crescendo. The coming of Galactus is something everything should be leading up to. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be in the first fucking movie at all. But if you're going to do it right. So they did it wrong in Rise of the Silver Surfer because Galactus was a fucking cloud. But Silver Surfer still looked better than it does right now. And, doing Dark Phoenix over and over again, it's just, they don't trust their own material because they don't respect their own material. The coming of Galactus should be something the entire Marvel universe should be involved in.
They could have built up to that like Thanos, but they just blowing their load too.
It's like starting with Crisis. Somebody mentions Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's like starting with that. It would be stupid.
Or Batman versus Superman.
Or Batman versus Superman. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the second movie.
Which has elements of the Dark Knight Returns in it, which is the last Batman story, supposedly.
Right.
TJ Jordan for $10. Anybody see Crisis on Infinite Earths cartoon? I did. That pissed me off because they tried to retcon animated series Batman, Superman, and Justice League as being mistakes in the multiverse and were wiped from existence just to justify the existence of the woke Crisis trilogy. DC animated used to be so fucking good. Like I owned them all. I watched them all. People always said the DC animated universe was actually the true comic book place to go over the MCU or anything, and I agreed. And then it turned to shit. Yeah. It turned to absolute shit. I think the last good one I saw was All-Star Superman.
I watched Killing Joke at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Did you?
Movie theater? Yes.
I did too.
Is that the one they changed
short...
the beginning?
Well, they start with a completely different story where Batman has sex with Barbara Gordon on a rooftop for some reason.
Yes. I remember when that went down.
That was the open of the fucking movie. And then it goes to Killing Joke and you're like, what are we doing here?
That was such a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. If I was Batman, I get it. Made me empathize with the character more.
My favorite one is Dark Knight Returns Part 1 is so fucking good. They did a great job with that. Thunderstorm for $9.99. How will the woke DEI cast of hot blue-eyed blonde to be Supergirl? Anything else will fail?
Millie Alcock
is a good Supergirl. But the problem is they're adapting a fucking terrible story.
She's okay. Could have been better.
What?
Shut the fuck up with your
Shut
AI
up.
dog shit.
Chad's like, I can whip up a sissy that looks better than her right now.
Why don't you just go back to watching Bella, okay? We all know how you feel about
her. I didn't say she's awful.
I think her casting is great. I think she looks like Supergirl. I think it's fucking fantastic. The problem is it's a Tom King story that's actually it's just true grit. That's all it is. It's fucking true grit. Tom King is a male feminist, former CEI piece of shit. And the fact that he's involved in this DCEU's writer's room is a major fucking red flag, along with Christina Hutchinson. Is the one who wrote Birds of Prey? She's there too.
Oh, Christina
Hodgson.
Why the fuck is she still doing work at this point?
She also did Flash.
She did Bumblebee too.
Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tom King and her are in the DC James Gunn's universe writing stuff. So that should be the biggest red flag of them all.
Yeah. And I know Core Black heard it too, but you did say CEI.
Yeah.
At first I was like, wait. At first I thought you were saying CIA, and then it was like, wait, no,
is it DEI?
Yeah, but you said CEI.
Yeah. Being former CIA is now like some sort of progressive hire. It's a DEI hire.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they release one of those adverts? And it was like, look, here's my lesbian moms and everything as they were going into. That was one of the intelligence services put that out.
No, that was the Army. That was the Army commercial.
I swear there was an intelligence one.
Well, yeah, there was. But
there is no intelligence. We have lost intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Eric 4x4 rant for $20. You guys should reach out to Larry Carrera.
Larry
Carrera. Sorry. Monster Hunter 45 on X. Yeah, he follows me and I follow him. Author of Monster Hunter International, brand new graphic novel named Gun Runner. Yeah, I would. Cool. We will. It's obvious about George R. Martin too. Yeah, he roasted him. It was pretty funny. It's obvious George R. Martin wife has is his co-author that helped him finish stories. I don't think so. But I could be wrong.
So when we were on, when I was on Daily with Vera Dark last week, we were talking something about George R. Martin, and she said it's my conspiracy theory that George actually had a ghostwriter for all of his shit, and that ghostwriter fucking died, and now he can't write it.
I mean,
he's like, I can't finish it. I gotta do other things.
But then he would just hire another ghostwriter, you'd think.
No, he actually writes it. I just think he can't finish it. It's too intimidating. He doesn't want to. And that's what happens when you set out to subvert the tropes of Tolkien and you go after the master. You end up being Tolkien's bitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he is. What he is. Doomsday should just AI insert Dom DeLuise and Captain Chaos and go full Cannonball Run with all those cameos. What the fuck, man, for $10. I agree. Cannonball Run's a great movie, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Zeitgeist Ruminator for 10 British pounds. Hail FNT. I'm hoping James Supergun Superman will save me from boring Marvel movie. I'm also hoping Sydney Sweeney can save my genitals from boring evening. A man can dream, can he?
The bath water. You can get her bath water soap.
No, no thanks.
Comes pre-washed.
I'm okay. I'm okay. JB for 100 Swedish krona. Women here. Never been on the pill. I'm 40, but I love me a masculine, manly man. It got interesting when I learned that there is a chemical change for how women scent men when we're on the pill. Yeah, the pill changes a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes you feel like it makes you pregnant, so you get all the side effects that you would go through if you were pregnant, including liking more feminine men. The men around you will put on more weight. That is one of the weird things, that when you realize that people get affected just by being in proximity to other people, that if you are just around a load of pregnant women or a load of people on the pill, it will change the men in your society just by proximity.
Well, I mean, you sync your periods up if you hang out with enough women, so.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, ask Az. Sky Shrimp 96 has a good rant here. This is a good suggestion. Get Dean on FNT for the Superman movie review. Okay. That'd be good. Oh, God. Mod Eric K says, as Gary always says, we didn't start the fire. It's been always burning since the world's turned. Worst fucking song ever written. Fucking
that song does suck.
It sucks. And last one for the night. We'll get the rest on a Square Up on Monday on Rumble and here. No, Nerdrotic Live. Sorry. I know where I am. TJ Crink for $10 says, my dad passed Tuesday evening and I drove 7 hours to New Jersey to help my little bro because he was doing everything alone. Not cancer, but COPD and CHF. Thanks for making me laugh during the time when I need it. You're welcome, brother.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry, we always need a good laugh. See, it's healthy, and that's that's the shitty thing we've lost with Hollywood is thank God we have each other because we can still roast each other, but like losing comedy is bad. It's very bad. It's bad for society. Yeah. For precisely those reasons, the reasons where you want your escapism, you need a little relief, not forever. You don't want to dive in it forever, but you need a little relief. You go to your little happy place. You're, I had so many shitty days at work at my shitty fucking job, and I just look forward to getting home and watch fucking Next Generation. That was like that's what got me home.
I used to watch like loads of sitcoms, panel shows, stand-up comedy stuff, and it's just died now. It's just not funny anymore.
Gone.
Yeah.
So now you just have to listen to retards on YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much.
But sometimes it works. Sorry about your dad, man. We're going to end it there. Let's go around the horn. We'll start with Odin. What do you got coming up?
Yeah, no salty stream tomorrow. A bunch of people had to cancel, including me, because I'm driving down to New Orleans to see some family. So that's where I'll be. Box office breakdown. Hopefully, we'll still be out on Sunday, and also probably gonna have to cancel Monday evening stream. But if not, then stay tuned to OMB reviews. Thank you as always for having.
Right on. Hey, did they catch the rest of those prisoners that got away?
Oh man, I know that there were at least a couple that were still on the run. I don't know if they've finally caught them all or not, but it's
dude. The story behind that is
so bad.
Correct. For one, when it first happened, that freaking that goose-looking fucking police chief you have, whatever her name was, who was there for the terrorist attack. Her face is up there again, and then you see the person who's the head of the jail, and you're just like fucking DEI in action, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So they
too easy.
They just cut through like a back hole of behind a toilet. They moved the toilet, got through an access area, and somebody had to unlock the door to let them out. So it was like they've already arrested a bunch of employees who worked at, like if you go down the whole rabbit hole in the story, it's nuts. It's nuts. But
and also as of today, or as of a few days ago, 2 of them were still at large.
Wow.
These are murderers, by the way.
Yep. That's crazy.
Yep. But hey, that's New Orleans for everybody. That's just how it goes.
Chocolate
Why do you think I moved?
Chocolate
Why do
City.
you think I moved to Tennessee?
What do you got coming up, comics?
Well, Failguard Friday, because I hate myself apparently. 9 p.m. Central. I put out a video yesterday talking about Sony and how they're going full Chinese social credit on with their bad actors technology that they're working on developing, which is pretty frightening, by the way. Of course, I stream every Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Central.
Awesome. X-Ray Girl.
Tomorrow on Wicked Virtue's channel, Saucy Saturdays with Disparu at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then Sunday Fun Day, we got Forbidden Frontier and art on Sunday. So we're talking about something pretty cool.
Forbidden Frontier, maybe. It's
maybe we'll talk about something pretty cool.
It's penciled in right now because I got some work to do.
If not, maybe I'll play Expedition 33 at some point this week.
There you go.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
Disparu.
It is the Doctor Who finale tomorrow.
Yes.
And because they don't want spoilers, they're not even putting it on iPlayer first. Because they think nobody knows that QT is leaving and filmed the regeneration scene. So that'll be a huge surprise to everyone tomorrow. And gonna be playing Elden Ring. So that'll be fun.
Have you started yet?
I did one game and crashed. So hopefully that's not a sign for the future.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it before I go to. I'm gonna get butt early tomorrow and watch it, and then go to the Fan Expo. Doctor Who. Shad.
So I might not be able to make it to FNT next week because I'm going to the Australian Comic Con in Melbourne, and I've
No,
never
you're not.
been to
You're
a
gonna make the
Comic-Con.
show.
I'll do my best.
No, it's all right.
I'll see.
Hey,
I'll
it's so
see.
early. The con will be open.
I've never been to like a convention like this, but it's also the Australian one, which isn't nearly as big as anyone's in the
There's
US.
lots of people there, Shad, that you might have to talk to.
Yeah.
Well, there are, and I was thinking of like going in my Shadiversity armor,
Yes.
but the thing is,
You should.
Melbourne is a
Oh.
progressive woke conclave hellscape,
It
and that
is.
could possibly get me attacked rather than noticed. And so I'm
I mean, at least you'll be
thinking perhaps-
prepared for it.
Well, I'll be wearing armor. I'm more thinking of going more incognito, but the family is all excited for it. They're going to be dressing up, and their favorite, pop culture things. So yeah, and it's literally the day of when we usually do, FNT. It's next Saturday for me. But I might be able to pop in the morning. We'll see. Cool. And other than that, on Night's Watch, Disparu and I, we had a live stream celebrating the fall of Wheel of Time, and people could go check that out. That's on the Culture Crusade. That was a laugh, and we went through the whole saga, the whole thing, and everyone knows the other stuff I'm doing as well.
Right on. Thanks, Shad. Carter Black.
On the Normal World channel, you can watch us. We went to the Renaissance Festival, had a lot of fun there, so we put out a video yesterday about that. Go check that out. And that's it.
Did they
tomorrow?
What did they do? A drum circle at the end?
No.
No.
What kind of drum circle?
Well, Renaissance festivals I went to back in the day, they ended every festival with everybody just banging on drums and playing instruments.
No, we left early. The food was really good though. It's always really good there. So
which one did you go to?
We went to the Dallas, the one in like below Dallas.
Scarborough?
Scarborough Fair, yeah. That place is freaking huge. It's like a full-on theme park. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a cool run fair.
It's off the chain. It's off the chain. Tomorrow, see us there. Me, Gary, assorted other people, Rippa as well at the Rippa verse booth. Check us out. It's gonna be fun. As
2 to 5.
As soon as we figure out when the panel is, we'll let you know.
Hey, maybe I know. Ryan.
Normal stuff for me. Geeks and Gamers Daily every weekday at 11 a.m. until the day that I pass away. Sports Wars. We'll be on Sports Wars Sunday morning. My channel, streaming at 5:30 Eastern in the evening on Sunday, and at 7 Eastern in the evening on Wednesdays. That's about it.
Did you figure it out?
No. I have to watch.
We'll let you know. Follow our socials.
We'll let you know. But I do have a picture that I can tease. I don't think he'll care. Our buddy Michael Collins.
Where'd he go?
He's at the Alaska Boneyard.
Oh shit!
Yes. I'm so jealous.
So we got to interview him on the way back.
His phone number there. He's got a mammoth tooth in his hand.
Nice.
Look how fucking big that is.
That is insane.
Cool.
Wearing a Nerdrotic hat too. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. So yeah, that's fucking awesome. That is awesome. Ryan. Oh, you already said that. Sorry.
I did.
It's my turn. Fan Expo tomorrow. We'll be at the Ripper booth from 2 to 5. Have no idea when the panel is. None whatsoever, but we'll figure it out. And yeah, Hodge Twins next week. Bunch of stuff. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat donation. If we missed one, it'll be read on the Square Up on Monday. We did a big Square Up Wednesday night. You can go check out if you missed it. Thanks to everyone who participated. We appreciate all of your support. We'll see you next week. I'll be in Vegas.
See you.
Chad won't be here.
Yeah.
And the crowd cannot wait. Oh, hail Friday Night Lights. I apologize because I'm probably late. Oh, hail Friday
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Dame, dame.